really good topics, actually. I do genuinely enjoy those member streams. And so just kind of overran a little bit. So apologies for that. But yes, NXT tonight. We are in Philadelphia. So we have got a very special show on deck. Obviously, we were in Philadelphia yesterday when we were doing Raw. And it was not a very well-received Raw. I don't think I need to tell you that. I think you probably already know it was not a very well-received Raw. It was a show that I think people found genuinely quite frustrating. I think that the Naomi news was obviously a big boost to, it being interesting. I think the main event was good as well, and people found that interesting. But really, before that, it was a bit of a struggle. It was not what I would say. It was not what I think people were looking for. I don't think it was necessarily good enough. I think the match quality was a bit underwhelming. So hopefully people don't have too bad of a taste in their mouth, and hopefully people can now turn their attention to tonight's NXT and get ready for what promises to be a really good night tonight. So let's jump over here. Let's have a look, see what they've got on deck for us. Nothing in the way of a preview, but we do have Twitter. So that can help us. So 12 minutes ago, Javon Evans takes on Trick Williams in a number one contenders match. So this should be really good. Javon against Trick, 1-on-1, right? Whoop that Trick against the young OG. And the winner will go on to face Oba Femi. I worry that it's going to be a screwy finish. I worry that it's going to be a case that they both end up going through and we end up with a triple threat or something like that. Like, I want a winner here. I want Javon and Trick, and I want to know who gets the win. I sort of feel like it should be Trick that wins because he's more experienced. He's been a former champion. I sort of feel like he's a little bit older. He's been there. He's done it. I sort of feel like he should get the victory. But I think if anyone does win, I think it would actually be Javon. I think for months now, they've been building up Javon. Like, do you remember Undertaker going up to Javon saying, like, keep going after the biggest dog in the yard? And, like, Javon was, like, a bit lost, not sure what to do. And Undertaker gave him that advice. That kind of says to me that they've been sort of grooming Javon, getting him ready to kind of go after that title. And I think he stands a good chance in a one-on-one match of beating Oba. I think Javon Oba in a singles match would be, let's go. I think that would be really interesting. Oba's been champ for a long time. And I think if anyone's going to get that belt off him, the list is probably really short, really small as to who would be able to do it. I think Ricky Saints could do it. I think Javon's got to be right on that list. So I think if anyone wins this match, it's probably Javon. For me personally, for where they both are in their careers, I think it's Trick that should win. But I don't know, maybe there could be a little something just to distract Trick. Could it be Joe Hendry? Could it be someone like that just distracts Trick? Javon just gets that slight advantage, puts Trick Williams away. Javon goes forwards. Trick Williams then, of course, has to defend the TNA title. I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it? It kind of, the math is mathing. So we've got that. We'll find out how that goes tonight. We've also got a Philadelphia street fight. So we've got Inamura. He's going to be taking on Briggs. Philadelphia street fight should be really good. Shawn Michaels said, Philly bringing the fire tonight. Inamura against Briggs in a street fight is going to kick off the show. Trick Williams and Javon to decide the number one contender. Jordan, Grace, and Blake Monroe are going to be face to face. Obviously, they're not fighting, but they'll be face to face. We've got Nathan. No, not Nathan. We've got Jasper Troy and Ricky Saints. Do you know, it's really hard when it's like that. You have to go, okay, that is Ricky Starks, but he doesn't go by the name of Starks anymore. He goes by the name of... I just wish their handles were like their names. I mean, I'm looking at that one and it's Inamura, and I'm like, right, okay, so Inamura is from Noah. So, okay. And that's Ricky Saints, even though nowhere does it say Ricky and nowhere does it say Saints. I mean, come on, help me out. So we've got Ricky Saints against Jasper Troy. So they're going to be in action. We got Chelsea Green and Ego, All Ego, Ethan Page taking on Tavian and Tyra May Steele. Come on! Help me out! Tyra May Steele for a USA-Canada peace treaty. The Elegance brand take on Fatal Influence with Masha Slamovich as a special guest referee as well. Do you know what? All this is happening. Yeah, decode it yourself. It is. It's more cryptic than a flipping Wyatt 6 T's. Honestly. You have to kind of write it down and go, right, okay, well, they were in AEW, and when they were in AEW, we went by a different name. Then we did change the name. We did change the name. Oh my God. Well, there we go. Some matches are happening. That's all you need to know. Yeah, don't come looking at me for answers. So, yeah, Elegance brand will be interesting. They're obviously from TNA, and they've added Masha now to the graphic. Yes. Look at that. Look, that doesn't look fake at all, does it? So, there we go. Masha has been added to the graphic. Her arm looks so weird out here. Like, obviously, the face and the hair is fine. But what body has that been put on? Is that maybe like Jessica Carr's body or something, do you think? It just does not look right. I mean, if you actually cut this out, it looks like something out of South Park. That arm just looks so out of... It just looks weird. It doesn't look right. I have no idea. I have no idea who... It's got to be Jessica Carr, surely. But then why does Jessica's arm look so strange? It just looks weird. This is where we find out, actually, no, she did pose for that picture. This is where, like, right now, it turns out, no, yes, she did. She just put the shirt on and posed for it. I don't know what you're on about. It just looks weird, though, doesn't it? That's not right. That's definitely photoshopped on to, I would guess, Jessica Carr's body, but there we go. I also think this is weird as well. Now I'm looking at it. Look at Fallon's head there. That looks strange to me. And then that's her fist. That looks weird. Why does the fist look so much bigger? I know they're trying to make it seem like she's punching forward so the fist is bigger, but even that looks a little weird now that I'm looking at it. This all looks okay up here. That looks completely up. That just looks like South Park to me. And now all of a sudden I'm looking over here and I'm like, oh God, actually there's quite a few things that are going on here. It's one of the most interesting graphics I've ever seen. And literally no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it. Right, let's go back to the chat because I feel like I'm ignoring you guys and I don't want to. This is going to be amazing tonight, said Davids. Yes, Davids. Yes, it is going to be amazing. You're right. Honestly, I think it is going to be a really fun show tonight because NXT consistently throughout 2025 has been a really fun show. So I am really expecting this to deliver. I think as well, though, the cards is obviously a bit of a go home. It is Heatwave this weekend. We'll be doing that show, of course. So we'll be doing Heatwave, and I think that we're obviously putting some final touches, but I think what they've done a good job of is actually building a few things for tonight. So, for example, Inamura against Briggs. We're not doing that this weekend. We're doing it tonight. Trying to figure out who is going to face Oba. We're figuring that out tonight. So, yes, this is a go-home, but it's not a go-home where we've sorted everything out in advance. There's big things that we need to get sorted tonight. Obviously, Ricky Saints against Jasper Troy. We're not doing that this weekend. We're doing it tonight. So I agree. Should be a good show. NXT has been delivering this year. There's no reason as to why they can't deliver tonight as well. Rob Marshall, shout out to you, my friend. And Muggsy, shout out to you as well. Hope you guys are well. Edward said, Daze, I'd be definitely interested in doing one of those interviews. I enjoyed the last one we did that was years ago. It was fun. So put my name down as a contender. Yeah, so when it comes to I didn't get a chance to talk about it, so I'll quickly talk about it here. When it comes to the members' interviews, I really want and this is an idea I've had for a long time. So rather than like a general chit-chat kind of going where the conversation goes type interview thing, I would like to try and get a couple of people, like 2 or 3 done in an hour, right? Because I think there's a lot of people that would like to take part. So I think it needs to be a bit more structured. If it's a bit wishy-washy, then I think it sort of can drift and we can get stuck into a conversation, and then before we know it, loads of time's gone by, then I can't get to the next people. I get the feeling, and I might be wrong, but I get the feeling that there's a good 2 or 3 people that would be interested. And if you do that like once a month, I mean, you're only getting through like 24 people a year, like 36 people a year if you do 3. It's not loads of people. So I think what I would like to do is I would like to have, say, 20 questions or 10 questions, like planned in advance. You lot know what is going to be asked. That way you can sort of prepare your answers. And I think that will mean that there's no nasty surprises. There's no question that you get asked that's going to be like, oh my God, what if he asks me this? What if he asks me that or anything? I'm just going to ask you the questions that you know I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and they're going to be about, you know, what's your favorite match or whatever it is, right? And I think that way anyone that's got a bit of anxiety don't need to worry. You know what I'm going to ask you. I'm just going to ask you those questions. It also means that we should be able to kind of get through that whole interview in, say, 20 minutes, which then means we can move on to the next person after, and then maybe even a third person after that. And then as well as that, it also means that obviously we can get hopefully better answers, because sometimes people, obviously, if you ask them like what's your favorite match, they have to go okay, well, I did like that one, and I've done it a few times where people need that thinking time. So if you tell them in advance, they can think in advance. So hopefully then if you go, right, what's your favorite match, go, yeah, right, I was thinking about this. I've got it down to, I think, WrestleMania 17. And, you know, I'm going to go Undertaker, Triple H, or whatever it might be, right? So I sort of feel that might be a more constructive way forward for a few reasons. But I did not get a chance to have that conversation because we were so stuck into, like, the questions that people were asking on the member stream that it overran. So I think what we can do is we can maybe touch on that tomorrow. And definitely tomorrow you will get a schedule of like, right, this is what Wednesdays are going to look like going forwards. And at least then people will have a better idea as to kind of what we're getting when we're getting it. But I do like the fact that each Wednesday stream is different. I do like that. But I think that is how I would like to structure the community interviews. And I think then we can start those and get up and running. Right, hello everyone. I'm not going to be able to type for a little bit, but I hope all is well. Real Russ, shout out to you, buds. Shout out to you. Suzanne said, I can't say about that, but I could help. Suzanne, I hope you've had a good day, buds. I hope you're doing well. Let's scroll up and make sure that we're up to speed with everything. Oh, hello, my mouse is playing up a little bit. So, yeah, where are we time-wise? Right, we've got a little bit of time. So we've already broken down what is going to be on the show tonight. Obviously, not loads in the way of news today, but a few little bits and bobs doing around, so we can get stuck into that as well if people want to. James said, how did you forget Ricky Saint's name? Oh, I didn't forget it, but it was like, if it says Stackman Jones, then I'm like, okay, Jones is I'm like, okay. And then I'm having to go, like, no, it's Ricky Stark, but it's not Starks. I still struggle with Ricky Starks over Ricky Saints. It's still not totally changed in my brain. So there is occasions where I'll want to say Starks rather than Saints. So it's kind of like you have to decode it by going Ricky Starks is now Ricky Saint, and it's like, why can't it just be the names? I don't know why they tag them actually in the tweets. I'm guessing so you can sort of click on them and find their accounts, but it doesn't make for easy reading because just like Tasha May Steele, she's not under that name, under her handle, is she? Ugh. I think there's a better way of doing it, honestly. I think not YouTube, X is a little bit broken, to be honest. I sort of feel like it'd be better if it showed profile names rather than the at name, you know? Because I don't know how many times you can change your at name. And if you can change your at name, why don't they do it? Why hasn't Ricky Saints changed his name over on Twitter? And why hasn't Tyra May Steele done it as well? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. Ricky Starks is definitely a better name, said James. Yeah, I like Ricky Starks. I don't mind Ricky Saints. It's not a change that like really upset me. I don't think it's better, but it's fine. It's passable. But yeah, I'm still caught in that trying to remember what we call these people these days. Thankfully, I mean, when it comes to Tyra May Steele, I never really saw much of her when she was men's stock. Tasha Men's Stock was it? I think her name was. So I mean, I don't really have that in my head. But, yeah, anyway. Right, Culture of Peace said, I noticed JR and Lawler didn't name every move, but told the backstory. New commentators, especially in AEW, list moves, and they don't tell the story. Booker has got catchphrases, but I think JR is genius, said Culture of Peace by engaging. Yeah, it's true. I think there is a place for both, to be honest. I mean, as someone that watches regular, I don't necessarily need the backstory. I don't necessarily need to hear about, you know, what they're trying to achieve and all that because I've watched the story. But WWE is always trying to reach out to new viewers. I mean, it is good, actually. If you go back to an old episode of Raw or you go back to an old episode of SmackDown, they're very good and they've always been good. It's always been a Vince thing about bringing you up to speed with where we are. You know, I mean, this is why they run so many video packages and, you know, they kind of try to tell you the story because there's new people that are watching and flicking channels all the time. Like, it is absolutely by design. It is not a coincidence. It is not that, oh, this is just what they do and they've just kept doing it. Like, this was driven by Vince. Vince famously as well hated it if ever you used he or she. Like, hated that. Hated you going, he's looking good here, right? Or she's doing well. Like, hated that because who's he? Who's she? Like, if you're going to give me information, tell me who it is you're talking about. So, you know, constantly informing the viewer, not only about the backstory, but what these people are fighting for, who they are, their journeys. If you're praising them or talking about them, who are you talking about? Don't say he, don't say they, don't say she. Actually talk about who these people are. And that was very much like driven by Vince, which I think has been, you know, just absolutely adopted as well by Triple H. I think it's just absolutely embedded in the WWE DNA that's what you do. Same with, like, you know, video packages to kind of bring you up to speed with what's happening. I mean, we get loads of video packages on the shows even now, right? Video packages showing you this is what went down last week. I find them annoying, right? I find them annoying, but I only find them annoying because I watch every show, so I don't need them. But there's plenty of people that are watching for the first time. Every show, there's someone that's watching for the first time. Plus, also, historically, if you want to just pick a random Raw or a random SmackDown, I mean, good luck remembering every little sub-story that was going on at the time. So, you know, it's very useful when you go back to go, yeah, I remember that. Right, I remember that led to that, and that's how we got here. Yes, I remember that. So, you know, as time goes by, actually, from an archive point of view, it's actually really good, really useful. Unless you're just going to watch every show in a row and just blast your way through. But good luck with that in 2025, because Netflix ain't got all the episodes. So good luck trying to blast your way through a whole year of Raw now. Certainly if you want to go back to anything like 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. I mean, a lot of whole years are missing. We didn't know how good we had it when we had the flipping network. So, yeah, just to expand on your point there about how they don't call the moves, that is true. There is times, obviously, where they do. Really nice, fisherman suplex or whatever it might be. There'll be the odd little bit that they do throw in there. But by and large, they don't worry so much about that because Undertaker says it as well. It's not about the moves. It's not about what moves you do. It's about the match. And I think the way to sort of think about wrestling, if you want to get really abstract, is a little bit similar to music in the sense of a match is like a song and moves are like the notes. So don't worry. When you listen to a song, you sort of get grabbed by it. You might like the hook, or you might like bits of it or the way that certain things sound. But you don't necessarily listen to each individual note. You don't pay attention to a song on that sort of level, right? You don't sort of like analyze a song by that. And so in regards to a wrestling match, it should be similar, where you don't analyze a wrestling match by each individual move that is done. You don't worry so much about the moves. It's how do you bring those moves together to create the match overall? Just like how do you bring those notes together to create a song overall? So hence why the commentators just don't worry so much about the individual like moves. And Undertaker's like, it's not about that. It's about the story, because it's the story that grabs you. I suppose in regards to a song, it's not about the notes. It's about the melody. Yeah, it's about the hook. It's about that's what grabs people when it comes to songs. It's not necessarily about the notes that you use. So I think that there's some really interesting conversation there. In regards to Excalibur, though, I do find that he goes a bit OTT when it comes to his calling of moves. But as a viewer that watches WWE on a regular basis, I often find myself with some interest as to, oh my God, what was that? I saw Penta the other day, for example. He did this move where it was like a bit of a pile driver type move, but it was kind of twisting and it was a bit weird, and I'd not seen it before. And on commentary, they referred to it as a twisting Mexican destroyer. And I was like, I don't think it is. And that's a part of the match that really stood out to me, because I was like, what was that? Because he sort of got them in the air, grabbed them in the air, twisted round, and then flipped. And you sort of like, there's a lot of moves that have kind of come in the past 10 years or so that I think has really, obviously gymnastics have become a bigger part of wrestling, and you see a lot more flips and a lot more twisting moves now. And so I like trying to keep up with the evolution of wrestling. Like, you need to be informed as to what some of these things are, and WWE never call the moves. So there's lots of little bits and like really outlandish stuff which I see, and I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what you would call that. And like, you listen to commentary so that you can find out what it's called. You don't get any help there whatsoever. So actually, watching AEW, I'd say that's a big plus for me, is being able to watch that and hear about what all these different moves are called and what they're referred to. Because I think these things are on the indie scene, and I think that's, where they kind of have come from. I think the indie scene has had to get a bit more adventurous to try and get people to go to their shows. And so now those moves have made their way to NXT, which then ultimately means they make their way to the main roster. So I actually personally quite like Excalibur informing us of what these different things are called. But unfortunately, because of the volume of moves, it's like blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Nothing breathes. I feel like in AEW, they do these big moves, the match carries on, and then it's another big move, and it's another big thing, and it's just like, I can't even remember what that move 5 moves ago was called, because I've had 5 big moves since then. So, if it was a case that their matches were structured a little different, and then they did this big move which ended the match, maybe then that would stick with you and resonate a bit more. But when it comes to like AEW, I find it very interesting when he's telling me what the moves are called as someone that watched the show every week. I don't need the recaps. I don't need the story. I don't need that stuff. I know it anyway. But like the moves I find quite interesting. So I actually wish there was a bit more of a balance in WWE. I actually wish they would increase their calling of moves just a touch, just a little bit. But to be honest with you, I think another reason why they don't do it, I don't think it's the main reason, but I think it is another reason, is because in this day and age, you can call a move and you could be slightly off in the sense of like there's a lot of moves that people do, but they go by different names. There's lots of things that like people do, but it's now tailored to their characters. And so it kind of goes by a slightly different name. And so as a result, like you might call someone and might be like, oh no, it's actually this because, such and such did it. And it's like, okay, yeah, fine. And so, like, for example, a splash off the top is a tsunami by Bronson Reed. So, if you went, oh, that was a big splash there by Bronson, and your brain just didn't tell you, no, it's Bronson just did it. Bronson did it, so it's a tsunami. It's not a splash. Because Bronson did it. It's a tsunami. Do you know what I mean? You go, oh, yeah. It's a tsunami. Or like when Ethan Page does the Razor's Edge. He could do the Razor's Edge. You could go, oh, big Razor's Edge. That's surely going to put him away. No, Ethan's done it. It's an Ego's Edge. It's an Ego's Edge because Ethan just did it. And that people online will be like, ow, did you hear what Vic Joseph just said? Vic Joseph's an idiot. He doesn't even know wrestling. Like that. And it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a fan of wrestlers naming the moves that exist, to be honest. I think a Razor's Edge should be a Razor's Edge for everybody. And like a power bomb should be a power bomb for everyone. A splash should be a splash. I don't like the fact that we take a move that everyone knows and then we give it to someone and... it turns into like a completely different name. And so then you have to try and remember like these same moves, if they're done by a certain person, become a different name. It's like, oh my God, why are you making this so complicated? Why are you making this so hard? So again, I think not the biggest reason, but I think another reason as to why commentators are like, F that. Forget that. I ain't getting involved in trying to remember all this stuff and whatever. I'll just tell you what their motivation is instead. I don't blame them, honestly. I don't blame them. Daze, would you like it if Umaga's son Zilla joined? He said he hasn't had a tryout, but his goal would be to join. We've had Zilla mentioned quite a lot, and my answer has always been I don't think he's ready. And actually, it was so refreshing. Really, I've got a lot of respect for him to turn around and say, I'm not ready. The reason why we've said that is because, and again, there's a lot that is going on when it comes to Zilla, and you don't know how much of it is true. I mean, for example, he got kicked out of Reality of Wrestling, right? Apparently he was quite difficult to work with. I don't know if that wasn't a bit of a story. I don't know if that wasn't a bit of a work, but I know that he did go and then was brought back again, right? But then I've also heard from other independent companies that have booked him and then he's not shown, right? And so, I'm sure he might turn around and say, oh, my flight was delayed or something like this. But there is a reputation that has built up. And this was years ago. We've spoken about Zilla quite a few times. But there was a reputation a few years ago of him being quite entitled in the sense of, I'm part of the bloodline. I'm an Anawayi. I'm a Fatu. I should be in WWE. Why have I got to do this? He seemed to act like the Indies and anything outside of WWE, he seemed to act like it was below him. And that's a massive red flag. That's a huge red flag. I mean, I don't know about you, but if there's going to be someone that's going to act like that, entitled, that's going to act like someone is below them like that, right? I don't know about you, but my immediate reaction is F you. I have no interest in you coming into WWE. I've got no interest in supporting you. I've got no interest in watching you. And so, you know, a few years ago, people would be like, oh, Zilla, can't wait for Zilla to come in, all this. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. He is not God's gift to wrestling. God knows we've got enough members of that family in WWF as it is anyway. I mean, I ain't clamoring for another one. So, yeah, no, I had no interest, zero interest, right? But as the years have gone by, not heard any of those stories, right? And Booker T has actually brought him back and done a match with him. Booker in an interview was like, my goal is to try and get him in WWE, which I thought was really interesting because you would think it would be a no-brainer that he would just be able to go to WWE and that they'd snap him up. But I think it shows that there's clearly some work that needs to be done. I think it shows that there's clearly an issue. Otherwise, WWE would bring him in. I mean, he's not too young. They've got Javon on their roster, right? They've got Zayda Steele on their roster. I mean, they've got wrestlers that are young on the roster. So his age is not a problem. He's part of he's Umaaga's son. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer whatsoever, right? The fact that WWE have not brought him in should be a massive red flag. It should say there is a problem here. There is an issue. There is a reason as to why he has not been brought in. And I think I knew what that reason was. As I said, I don't think he was mature. I don't think he'd kind of developed. And listen, it's a journey of life, isn't it? We're talking about a very young man who, you know, has kind of bought into his own hype. And I think, you know, probably looks back on that with a bit of regret now. I mean, I can't speak for him. But he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet the other day that I thought was very mature, where he actually said, I'm not ready for WWE yet, and I know that. And I was like, oh my God, this is not the Zilla I know. This is not the person that I have kind of heard about in recent years. And that maturity and that kind of growth was like respect, honestly. I saw that and I was like, that's some of the best stuff I've ever seen, like, associated with Zilla, is like a bit of growth, a bit of maturity there. So again, I don't want to paint a picture that's not accurate. I'm only basing this off reports and things that I've seen over the years. But I think now even he's coming out saying, I wasn't ready, or I'm still not quite ready. And you go, actually, I think that's a big step towards you being ready. I think you showing a bit of humility and, you know, kind of knowing that this is a grind and knowing that you got to put in the work, knowing that you got to pay your dues. Like, I think that does show that he is actually a bit more ready now than he actually was before. So I think the Zilla conversation is a really interesting one because it's, I think a lot of wrestling fans out there that are kind of casual wrestling fans, they hear that he is Umaaga's son, they get excited, and that's about the extent of their interest, or they look into it and that's as far as they go. But I think for me, like, because obviously I read a lot of reports, I see a lot of things that are said, I see a lot of interviews and clips and stuff. I think for me, I had concerns that he wasn't mature enough, he hadn't developed enough. But I don't have those concerns right now. So yeah, I think he is. I think he's in a much better place, a more mature place. I think that he will find his way to WWE. And if and when he does join, no issue from me. I mean, like, I'm not going to be down on him or anything. But actually, a couple of years ago, I was. A couple of years ago, we were getting a lot of people in the chat going, oh, we need Zilla. Really, when Bloodline was, you know, at his peak, there was a lot of people going, we need to add Zilla to this. And I was like, man, I ain't seen nothing from Zilla that makes me want him to join this group. But as I said, yeah, in a different place now. Culture of Peace said Zilla turned to crime when Umaga died. And it's like wrestling should look after Umaaga's son as he died through wrestling. Well, I don't know that wrestling necessarily should look after Zilla. I don't know that wrestling necessarily owes anything to Zilla. I think that Zilla's family should be there to protect Zilla. I mean, I certainly don't think that like WWE owes Zilla a job or anything like that. I think that wrestling is a land of opportunity. And I think that you obviously have to do the right things to take those opportunities. I don't think anyone can be handed things. So I'd probably disagree with that a little bit. I don't think Zilla is owed anything. But I think his family should have been, there to have made sure that he stayed on the right path. But that's easier said than done, isn't it? I mean, people are going to make their own mistakes. And, he was a young man as well. So, of course, he made mistakes. I mean, we all make mistakes in life. I mean, I really don't want to be too harsh on him or too down on him. I'm talking about why I was not down on him coming into WWE. I mean, we're talking about the biggest wrestling company in the world. We're talking about, if someone should join the NFL, I mean, or the Premier League. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, no one's got a God-given right to that. For me, like, you have to earn your spot. There's plenty of people that are sons of wrestlers that didn't make the cut, that have not found fame and fortune in WWE, even though their parents are obviously famous. So I don't think any door is kind of opened to you in that regard. I think a door is opened. I think there's an opportunity. I think like WWE will have a look at you because you're obviously very marketable, but you've got to do the work to kind of walk through that door. You've got to do the work. You've got to be able to get in there and actually, apply yourself. This is why I think the hate for Charlotte is a bit OTT. I've always felt that it's a bit OTT. I think you can hate on Charlotte for getting as many world titles as she's had. I understand that. I hear that. But I think, okay, Rick might have opened the door for Charlotte, but Charlotte had to do a lot of work. I mean, she had to go out there and put on the great matches that she's put on. And she has put on great matches. I mean, her athleticism, her storytelling, her selling, like all of that is top notch. Her against Becky, her against Sasha, her against Rhea. Like, she's had a real series of really great matches. Her WrestleMania resume is really strong. She's had some brilliant matches at WrestleMania alone. So this is why, for me, like, Charlotte is one of the greats. And she has been given too many title opportunities. But as Charlotte has said herself, like, what am I meant to do? Turn those down? Am I meant to just say no when someone says, we're going to make you champion? I mean, I agree. But I think the reason why they kept going back to her was because she was so good in the ring. But yeah, undeniably, being Ric Flair's daughter opened doors and gave her opportunity. Undeniable. So I understand why people have frustration with that, but I think like some people go too far, and I see a lot of comments that are like Charlotte only succeeded because of her dad. It's like, shut up. You ain't got a clue what you're on about. Like, she's had so many really well-received matches. It ain't Ric Flair that's in there having those matches. She's having to have the match. So, yeah, you do see some really stupid comments doing the rounds. But you see a lot of stupid comments in general, to be honest. That's what X is for, isn't it? Johnny, shout out to you, buds. I wouldn't worry about beef. Can't do anything about it. There are bigger things in this world. What are people engaging in some beef? There we go. Again, social media. I'm not surprised. Leanne said, I feel so much better tonight. It's so much cooler here in Glasgow than yesterday. I felt like I was visiting the devil. It can feel like that when you're in Glasgow, yes. Zilla, in his interview, did seem to have matured, said Tyler. I'm very excited to see how he enters WWE. Yeah, no ill will towards Zilla in 2025. I wish him all the very best, and I would expect him to come into WWE, over the next few years. I think he'd probably go NXT. I mean, I wouldn't rush him. I don't think there's any need to rush him. We've got so many members of his family on the main roster. I mean, why not just take your time and have him go through NXT? At least Zilla knows that he still needs a bit more work, said Kader. Yes, respect to him, honestly. Let's go up. A roll-up should be an exception as a finish and not the standard. We've been getting too many roll-ups, said Liam. We've been getting too many roll-ups for years. I agree. I am only against this type of behavior on display when the show is going on during Daze's stream. Before then, no holds barred, said William. No holds barred. William, hope you're doing well, my friends. Let's go down. So, Johnny, thank you, but Ace said, Daze, I'm surprised that Oba Femi hasn't been called up to the main roster yet. Well, I'd say he's ready. The only thing I'd say about Oba Femi is that you obviously need the main roster to be ready. So, Oba Femi is someone that I think you can keep going in NXT with him. And, you know, I think he's shown great improvement. His moveset has become more varied. His match quality has improved. I remember when he first arrived, the concern was that he was a wrecking machine, but he was a bit limited. Like, are you going to get good matches out of him? And then actually he had a run with the mid-card title, and his match quality was getting better. And his matches against Tony D'Angelo were actually really good. And then, of course, he's managed to get to the top title. I think there's been a little bit too much of, like, multi-person matches when he's been champ. We've done a lot of, like, triple threats and whatnot. But he's had the odd singles match where he's looked really good. I mean, he had a match with Miles Bourne that I actually really enjoyed. It wasn't 5 stars, but it was solid. And it did a job. And I think that he's got a good size. I think that he is obviously a presence, but he's also someone that you really need to have creative ready for. I don't think you want to call up Oba Femi and not have, like, the creative ready for him, because he is special, isn't he? He is someone that has got a good presence. He's got a good presentation when he's got his walk, when he comes out. The entrance music feels quite big. I'm actually always quite surprised when he stands opposite certain people and he's not that big. I think they've done an excellent job. Part of it is when he does his walk, the camera is low and it's sort of looking up. So he does his walk out like this and he feels like a bit of a giant. He feels like this absolute monster. And I don't know, maybe in the early days they put him in there with some smaller guys to kind of exaggerate that. But actually, you know, you see him in there with Trick Williams or Moose. There's others that I think Trick might even be a little bit taller than Oba. Oba's obviously thick, you know, he's got muscle, but like from a height wise, he's not like crazy tall or anything. They do present him that way, but again, you know, it just shows the power of the presentation, doesn't it? It's very effective. So yeah, I would be interested to see Oba face to face with a Roman Reigns. Because, I mean, if Roman's going to not tower over him, but be like, you know, quite a bit taller, I mean, is that going to take from Oba's, is that going to take from his aura a little bit? So I like Oba a lot. I think that he can go to the main roster, keep improving, keep on learning, keep on developing. And, you know, I think we could get somewhere with him. The concern I have is I think he is average size. But you put him in there against people that are above average, because, of course, WWE has got some really tall people. And does he just lose a little bit? I mean, I think this is the problem with Bron Breaker, honestly. I think if Bron Breaker was another 3-4 inches taller, I think, you know, he's undeniable that he is like this multiple-time WrestleMania main eventer. And WWE want you to believe right now that he's a multiple-time main eventer anyway, and he absolutely could be. Because WWE are the ones that get to decide. They're the ones that get to pick and choose who main events WrestleMania. They're the ones that get to pick and choose who they put the belt on. So if WWE are telling you via Paul Heyman, this is the guy, this is the guy that's going to main event WrestleMania multiple times, you have to listen to that. And you have to go, okay. If that's the guy you're pushing, okay. But I don't know. The thing with Bron Breaker is an interesting conversation because he's got He's got an aura. I mean, when he comes running down and he spears someone, like, it's cool. When he's going against the ropes really quick, it's cool. But he's not like... I don't want to be disrespectful. He's not got the look of Roman in the sense of... I don't know that women are, like, swooning over Bron Breaker like they are Roman Reigns, you know? I mean, Roman just looks like flipping... You know, it could be an Aquaman, you know, just looks like some, if you was going to draw a superhero, it might end up looking like Roman Reigns. Whereas Bron Breakker just feels a bit more of a normal guy. He's obviously very athletic, though. He's obviously jacked and looks good. But again, his height is a bit more average. He's not as tall as Roman. I don't think he's got the looks of Roman. It's very hard for you to convince me that Bron Breakker is the next Roman Reigns. I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with that. I can buy that he'll be a multiple time WrestleMania main eventer because I could see him main event in night one, to be honest. I could see him as the world heavyweight champion defending on night one or trying to win on night one and maybe getting the occasional night two main event. But I don't think I see the next Roman Reigns, the next John Cena. I don't see the next Stone Colds. I mean, of course, he's still learning and he could be in his prototype stage. So it could be that it's very early in his development. But I don't see it at the moment. I don't see it. So I think that with Oba, it's going to be really interesting when he comes up. And height-wise, how is he going to look when he gets face-to-face with Roman Reigns? I mean, I think face-to-face with Cody shouldn't be too bad, but I think Cody's actually... I don't know how tall Cody is. I'm sure Cody's higher than normal. I'd say normal is like 6 foot. It's probably about normal, in it. 5'11"-ish. Actually, don't know how tall Cody is. Cody is 6'2". He's a little bit taller than normal, I would say. Not loads. But listen, those 2 inches, they make all the difference. No? All the difference. I'm just saying there's a difference between 5 inches and 7 inches. There is, isn't there? There just is. You can't tell me that there isn't when there is. It makes a big difference. Let's not act. Let's not pretend that 2 inches doesn't make a difference. So there we go. Cody Rhodes 6'2". James said, Daze, you should know. Thank you, James. I really appreciate that, buds. Are you saying I should know about the 7-inch situation? I mean, maybe on a bad day, mate. Maybe on a bad day. Can I just tell you, I have got a massive spider right in front of me. I'm not scared of spiders, but I equally am not too eager to allow this one to go running around the house. Did I get the little bastard? I have absolutely... I got him. Can you see the size of his body? I don't know if... It's not like tarantula or anything, but actually with his legs it was like sort of that big, and it just darted across there and it was right in front of me. I was like, oh mate, that's actually quite big. Well, there we go. Got him. Right. A spider was not what I thought you was going to say. Yeah, not what I thought. I was just sat here and do you know what was really interesting was I heard this noise whilst I was talking, like this, like something had fallen, and it actually made me go like that. I was like, what was that? I wondered if it was a bit of paint or a drip of water. And I was like, what's that? What's just fallen? And then all of a sudden, this big spider just went straight across my desk. So I'm wondering if whilst I was talking to you, there was this massive spider above my head. Well, there we go. Wild. Very exciting. Probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened on this channel. Right. Spiders aren't that bad. They do get rid of flies, said Tom. Well, yes. That's true. But actually, we had quite a few flies around. We haven't had that many for the past month or so. I'd say the flies were really bad in, like, June. So many around. I mean, I'm in the countryside, so we get all sorts of animals. So, yeah, June was quite bad. But actually, I'd say throughout July and August, nah, I don't know. I don't know if that's flies done for, now. Daze, will you be streaming the World Cup in 2026? I assume you will be watching behind the scenes, said Ace. Well, Ace, it's lesson learnt. I sadly won't be streaming the World Cup because I am very dialed in with pro wrestling. And, I think for me, I learned a lesson a good few years ago. We actually did a channel all based on the Premier League. I mean, if I'd stuck with that, I don't know where that would be right now, but I think it's very difficult because the lesson I learned by doing that year, I mean, that was a whole season that we committed to. And it was good. It was fun. Enjoyed it. But the one thing I learned was that, if you're going to do it, you got to do it. It's like wrestling as well. If you're going to do it, you got to just do it. Because, for example, I could just do streams and then that's it, just go. But I think what really helps reach new viewers and what really helps the channel to sort of grow and to what helps it are actually the videos that we do. They're things like Unseen and the reaction clips and little bits like that. Like, they're so valuable because people will take a chance on like a 10-minute video, right? They'll go, oh, what's this? And they'll give it a watch. And, if people enjoy what they see, then they might come back and then they might join us for the live streams. But actually, if you only do live streams, it's going to be really hard for you to reach people because there ain't too many people that are going to take a chance on a 3-4 hour live stream, for a show that's already aired. Or, if they are going to watch a live stream during the show, I mean, there's so many to choose from now. I feel like this is a side of wrestling that since the pandemic has really exploded, has really grown. There's been some real growth with like watch-alongs and live reactions, and like that's really grown. So I think when it comes to wrestling, like there's just not the time. There's just not the time to fit in anything else. You can maybe squeeze in a UFC on a Saturday or a boxing on a Saturday, but I don't even get a chance to do videos on those. I don't even get a chance to do prediction videos or anything. I mean, tonight I'll do an NXT talking points video, which I don't think is going to do very well. I'm not doing it really for the views. I'm just trying to establish it as a new sort of video series. And I'll put that on the main channel. I'm not really looking to put opinions in it. Just like the Raw one I did yesterday. And I was just talking actually on the member stream saying that I've actually found it's really helped my enjoyment of the shows. Because the way I would word it is that I think you've got the big OMG moments, right? And then you've got like the matches. And then you've got the little bits that just keep a show bobbing along, okay? So just little talking points that just keep you engaged. The kind of thing that stops you from changing the channel, right? Just you need these little things dotted throughout the show. They're not meant to be a major focus. They're just little bits that just, little backstage things or the odd little comments or, some on commentary or just whatever, right? Just little bits that keep you engaged. Really, then, the matches should really be something that really engages you, right? So the matches are obviously really important. And promos and those kind of segments. And then, of course, you got your OMGs. Well, right now in WWE, we have next to no OMG moments. I mean, there is really nothing that's happening that's really blowing anyone's mind. Yesterday, we did get Naomi, but that was obviously unplanned. I mean, Naomi becoming pregnant was not a WWE storyline, right? That's not something they've created. That's just life, which has provided an OMG moment. So we can't really credit WWE for that, but, it was still an OMG moment. So we did get one this week, but it was only thanks to Big Jim. And so, like, if you take the OMG moments away, because we're not really getting them right now, and honestly, take the matches away, because the match quality, like the past, well, probably this year, but certainly the past few months, nowhere near good enough. I mean, I'm so tired of us doing polls and it's like good 92, good 90, good 87. I mean, honestly, like for me, a match that is acceptable should be like good 95. Good 95 is like, okay, yeah, there was something about that we enjoyed. That wasn't a disaster, yeah. Obviously, good 99 is like, oh, yeah, no, that's almost great. I mean, there's some really good stuff in there. And then once you start getting into the great territory, that's like, yes, oh, my God, you got to see this match. It banged, mate. Really, oh, so good. But, I mean, we're getting like good 87, which I would argue is bad. I would argue that it's all actively bad. Like, it's just really not grabbing people at all. It's just really not grabbing people. In fact, a good 87 means that 13% of people said it was bad. 13% of people would have actually said it was a bad match. So, and then obviously a lot of the rest would have said it was just good. It was okay. And we're getting a lot of that now. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to go down to the next level, which are those little talking points. They're those little things that stop you from changing the channel. And as of right now, I'm having to get enjoyment out of those. And we were talking about this, how, you know, it was like the EO Asuka segment backstage. It's not an OMG moment. It's just a little bit of a character development, storyline development thing where, you know, clearly Asuka is going to turn on EO. We just haven't quite got there yet. We need to give the reasons why. And so we're showing why Asuka is getting frustrated. So, you know, we had another reason. But I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the segment where they delivered it with Kyrie and EO storming off. And I enjoyed that. So that to me was an interesting bit. Obviously, Nikki being on the show was quite interesting. Vikingo being on the show was quite interesting. The Bayley segment was really good. We got a new Bayley vignette, which I really enjoyed. Roman was on the show. Don't think that was OMG because they'd actually announced that he was going to be on the show, which is weird. I mean, what was he going to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, they announced he was going to be on the show. We knew in advance he was going to be on the show. But, like, the way that they keep using him the same way. I mean, like, why didn't you start the show with Roman doing a promo? And actually have Roman, like, come and... That would have been better than having Paul Heyman come out and introduce the Vision again. You know? So, there's these little talking points. So, this new video series... It just sort of helps me look and go, actually, there was some stuff on Raw. It wasn't a 0 or a 1 or a 2 out of 10. Because there are these bits that just keep you engaged. And I'm now having to try and find more enjoyment out of those. Because I don't have the option of stopping watching. I mean, I'm here week in, week out, and I have to be. Because I need to know what's happening. And, you know, this is all I do for a living. I'm sort of committed to this. So whether the shows are good, whether the shows are bad, I've got to find a way of getting through them. And obviously when the shows are good, easy. Oh my God, so good. Let's go. But when the shows are bad, well, I have a decision to make. And that decision is, do I just get super negative about it, moan about it, pull my hair out about it? Or do I put in a little bit of extra work and try and find enjoyment in the shows? And I've chosen the latter. I've chosen to do that little extra work, try and find the enjoyment. And actually, I think I've got something that's working for me. And that is jotting down the talking points, jotting down those little bits that just keep you engaged during a show. And then, you know, immediately 20 minutes after the show's ended, I can get a video out about them where we can sort of talk about them and talk about where they're going and why they're doing them. And I'm kind of getting something from that at the moment. So I'm going to do that again tonight. I don't think the views will be there for the NXT version. As I said, not really doing it for that. I'm just trying to get into the habit of doing these videos, and they're really helping me for Raw, especially. And SmackDown. SmackDown's not amazing at the moment, but yeah, really helping me for Raw at the moment. So, you know, there are things that are happening on Raw. There was stuff outside of Naomi in the main event that did happen, but it's just they weren't the kind of big things that really resonate with people. They were just little bits that just stop you from changing the channel. Right, Joe said, what's up, bro-tato chip? Bro-tato chip. I've never heard that before. Bro-tato chip. Is that what the kids are calling each other now? Bro-tato chips. I don't mind that. If that's something you've created, I'm not on board. But if it's something the kids are saying and I can actually use it and people will think I'm cool, then I am on board. I heard that there is a new word that's being used, which is skibbity. Apparently the kids are using the word skibbity now. And I think it means very cool. Skibbity. I believe it means very cool. I saw a video where someone was going up to people in the street going, do you know what skibbity means? And they were like, I ain't got a clue what skibbity means. And I was like, okay, I need to know what skibbity means. And I'm sure that it means very cool. I need to double check that. What does skibbity mean? It originated from a YouTube video series. It can be used with no real meaning or as a joke. It can mean cool or bad. Jesus Christ, make your mind up. It's got no fixed meaning. Okay, so it could actually mean anything. Skibbity, tradwife, I'm not making this up. Look, tradwife. And other slang terms popularized on social media are amongst thousands of new words that have been added. Skibbity is a gibberish term which gained popularity with a viral animated video series. Tradwife is short for traditional wife, a married mother who cooks or posts on social media. I bet you've got a trad wife. Trad wife. When I grow up, I want to be a trad wife. I bet you do. I bet you do. That'll be skibbity for you, won't it? That'll be skibbity. The thing is, though, if I say that'll be skibbity, people won't know if I mean that'll be good or that'll be bad if it doesn't actually mean anything, you know? So I need to have a look, see how that gets used. An earlier use of the skibbity word came from the band Little Big releasing a track called Skibbity. The music video has got 700 million views with a dance that went viral. Never seen that. Well, there we go. Skibbity and Tradwife. That was only a couple of days ago. They've all been added to... So there you go. Use that. Tradwife means traditional wife short. So I'm only using Brotato Chip if it's something the kids are actually using. Yeah. Because I don't want to use that and have people kind of look at me. I don't want people looking at me going, what's he on about? What's this boomer on? I need to cling on to my youth. Do you understand? I don't want to go around going, hey there, young man. I hope you're feeling hip today. Like that. And they're like, get out of here, granddad. And I'll be like, I'm sorry. I just tried. I don't want to go up to her and go, hello there, Brotato Chip. Like this. And then look at me like that. And I'll be like, don't be skibbity. I'm going home to my trad wife. Never like, do you know what I mean? I need to use terms that the kids know. And they're like, oh my God, I thought he was old. But actually, clearly, he's like 17. Yeah. Joe said it's a known saying. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. It's just a lesson for everyone, please. If you are going to bring slang into the chat, can it please be things the kids are actually using these days? Right, Daze, what do we think they're doing with the Bayley storyline? Do you think she's going to turn or be a babyface? Says the YF Dub Jammer. Yeah, it feels like she's slipping into madness. However they present that is going to be interesting. I mean, it could be a really interesting character where it's both. It could be that she's really nice and lovely, but then there is a darkness where she's dark. And it could be that she attacks her friends. We could do something really interesting where her overall character is not heel or face. She's actually both. That could be really interesting. And actually, oh God, who was it? I read a comment in the review and opinions video where, I can't remember who said it now, but they were saying, imagine if she is going to come back as the hugger, but it's going to be a dark hugger. So she comes out like doing the arms thing, but like it's all black, and like she's laughing and smiling, and then like she goes dark as she just walks away to the ring, and the kids are putting their arms out, and she just sort of looks at them. The wacky inflatable arm men come up, and they're just black with like red eyes, something like that. Like there's it's kind of a, we've gone back to the past, but it's not right. We've slipped into like a twilight zone where it's Hugger Bayley, but it's dark. And I was like, oh my God, that would be so good. That would be so interesting. That would be so good. But I also like the idea of when she is a happy sort of person, that everything's good, and she's a babyface and she'll help her friends. But if that dark voice takes over, she could end up turning on those same friends, you know, and like maybe we could have a heel and a face kind of embodied within the same person. How that would work, how that would be received, how the crowd would kind of react with that, I think would be really interesting. I think that'd be really interesting. James said, what has been the NXT match of the year so far? Good question. I probably would go... There's been so many, but the one that I'm struggling to... Ooh, maybe you guys can tell me, but I think the show that I go to like first is the Madison Square Garden show. I think that's one of the best NXTs I've ever seen. And actually, there's quite a few matches on there. I mean, I think Julia Stephanie was the main event of that and was amazing. I don't know if it did enough to be like match of the year, right? So I don't know that it was quite that level, but I might take Javon Ethan from that show because like they put on an absolute banger on that. I mean, do you remember like some of the dives to the outside on the commentary table? It was getting destroyed. I mean, it was so good. Javon, you know, just constantly delivers, constantly impresses. And I think that show in particular is one of the best NXT shows I've ever seen. It started with the Hardys against Fraxium, which was an amazing match in its own right. But I think the one that really stood out that night was Ethan and Javon. And just, it was like I remember there being weapons and there being like, they were really getting stuck into each other. And it was just amazing to watch. So that one is one that really stands out. I mean, Javon's been involved in some really great matches this year. Oba, probably not so much, actually. I think the top end of the cards has been okay. But, I mean, we've not really had anything like Elia Gunther this year. Women's division has cooked, and obviously Julia, Stephanie have been involved in some interesting matches. Was the Jada Lola match this year the ECW thing? I mean, that was a really good fight. The only thing about it was I just felt it went a little bit too long, I remember there being a brick involved, and I don't think that resulted in the win. I remember Jada using the brick on, I think, was it Lola that used the brick or Jada used the brick? And I remember it being a case that it didn't result in the finish. So I think that one comes to mind as well, but I don't think that is going to get the nods. Fraxium against Hank and Tank was amazing with the title change. I actually really enjoyed that match. And their match with the Hardys, I think, would be up there as well. But I think I preferred the one against Hank and Tank. I thought that was excellent. Women's division, I'm thinking mid-card with Sol Ruka, Kalani. I can't think of anything that comes to mind. Yeah, I think it might be one of those, unless anyone can tell me otherwise. I think it'd be one of those. Javon Leon Slater would make a good tag team, said Jim. What was yours, James? I think it's a really good question. What would you say is your favourite? Ben Elizabeth said, if there was a WWE show that was very bland for so long, like Raw, would you stop streaming it? SmackDown did 1.5. Well, I'd never stop streaming Raw and SmackDown. I mean, it's too important to the channel. And, like, you know, that has a big impact on premium live events. And, you know, I mean, for me, if I was to stop doing those shows, I mean, I would totally understand the community just going, okay, see you around. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is a place that people enjoy hanging out and sort of sharing their thoughts and having a little chat. I think that, like, if we was to just stop doing Raw or SmackDown for a bit, I would totally understand people leaving the channel. So we'll never stop doing that. We did stop NXT for a little bit because obviously the amount of people that join us for NXT, the numbers are much lower. So, you know, we did stop NXT for a little bit when it was going through its 2.0 phase because I didn't enjoy that phase. That wasn't a time that I enjoyed. It felt like we hit the reset, but we hit the reset with people that just weren't quite ready. I mean, the fact that like Andre Chase and Tony, Trick Williams, you know, there's a good sizable Lash Legend. You know, there's a good sizable amount of people that are still in NXT from that time period, from when we hit the reset. I mean, it shows how much learning and developing they needed to do. The fact that we've still got many of them still in NXT. And some of them have been released, like Duke Hudson, for example, or Cora Jade. Like, they've been released. So NXT 2.0 was a bit of a struggle, to be honest with you, at first. I think it got better. I think it found its feet. But, yeah, we did step away for a little bit there. And I honestly, I don't regret it. I think that I was starting to become quite negative about the show. And this is why I've been streaming for a long time. 7 years we've been doing live streams, right? And I've sort of learned a few things along the way, thanks to things that we've encountered. And one of those is that if there is a show that you are consistently not enjoying, then stepping away is honestly an option. But I can't do that for Raw and SmackDown. Hence why Raw this year consistently has been like 5, 5.5, 6, that sort of range, right? And so this is why the talking points thing is a godsend for me, because it is actually helping my enjoyment of the show. To actually go, okay, that's a talking point there, and jot it down or save it to a folder or do something, you know. Like that genuinely is helping. So, yeah, I think like when it comes to AEW, I stopped enjoying it, so I just walked away. When it comes to NXT, I've stopped enjoying it in the past, and I just took a break. But when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, I can't do that, no. So, thankfully, it is not terrible at the moment in the sense of it's not unwatchable. I think if anyone thinks that the current product is unwatchable, I assure you it can get much worse than where we are right now. I promise you that. I promise you it can get much worse than this. And the reason why I say that is because obviously we're still getting some matches that are clicking into the great range. You know, we started yesterday with an EO match that you lot said was good 97%. And we finished with a main event that was great 60-something%. Well, imagine if both of those were good 80-something. So straight off the bat, those two matches could have been worse. Straight off the bat, we could have had no Naomi announcement, right? Which would have took that OMG moment away. And I don't think we're actively getting bad things. I think what we're getting are boring things. Some things are a bit repetitive, but I don't think we're actively getting segments that are bad or offensive. I mean, they could be doing all kinds of nonsense. They could be burying like your favorite wrestlers, giving them lines like suffering succotash. You know, like the promos could be horrific. The matches could be like nonsensical, people winning, and you're like, what? Why have they just beat them? And like, do you know what I mean? Like, this could be so much worse than what it is. So thankfully right now it's not in a good place, but it could be in a worse place, and so I'm able to just find enough about it that's keeping me engaged. But yeah, my fear will be that one day we actually get to the point where we go even lower than where we are right now, and things actually get even worse. And we've been there. I mean, 2019 was horrific. 2019 was honestly a real struggle. If you was watching WWE in 2019, you'll know it was a real struggle. But then same with 95. I mean, go back, try and watch the 1995 Raws. They're rubbish. It's just a load of nonsense characters that are in nonsense, pointless matches. I mean, honestly, they're matches that don't matter. It's just a way of showing these people on TV. But a lot of who they were putting on TV were just rubbish characters that didn't have any sort of future. So, I mean, it really was just a complete waste of time. I mean, in a way, you could go back now, knowing what you know, and look at it and maybe get some enjoyment out of it, because it is so quirky and different, and we're showcasing people like Friar Ferguson or whatever. But like at the time, it wasn't good. It wasn't interesting. You know, I remember kind of at that time getting the videotapes from my uncle and just not being like, it wasn't the same sort of feeling at that time. 93, 94, I was really excited for like getting the videotapes. But then by the time I was getting to like this time periods, a little bit later, it just wasn't anywhere near as exciting. So I'd get the tapes and I'd, watch them, but it wasn't as exciting. I wasn't like as giddy to, oh my God, I can't wait for the next week, So I promise you, we've been worse than where we are right now. We've got half an hour to go. What's the date? The 20th. There we go. I can't click on it yet. It's not live yet. Okay. Let's take the sound off. Lovely. Right. Suffering Succotash works for Sylvester the Cat, said Jim. That's true. 2019 was boring matches and they just kept getting repeated, said Mayor Pete. That's true. Mayor Pete, hope you're well. Stephen said, what are the thoughts on Jericho returning at the Rumble? Well, I mean, we just spoke about this on the members stream, and I think there's a couple of talking points, right? First of all, his contract's up at the end of the year. Would WWE be interested? Yes, I'm sure they would, right? Whatever is done in AEW is irrelevant. Most people haven't watched AEW, right? WWE gets 1.5 million viewers, was it, on USA Network? And then, of course, however many around the world. WWE Raw gets like 2.6, 2.7 globally million. And we know that AEW Dynamite is getting like 600,000. A little bit more on Max. I don't think their global numbers are going to be really anything. I mean, maybe Dynamite All In's doing 1 million, something like that. So I sort of feel that the numbers, there's quite a gap, right? Or we believe there to be quite a gap between what AEW are doing and what WWE are doing. WWE are not going to worry about what Jericho's been doing in AEW. I think they're going to be aware that he's now older and he's got limitations. I mean, it's been 6 years since AEW started, and he's been in since the beginning. And I think before that, wasn't he doing like some bits in New Japan as well? So I sort of feel like he's not been in WWE for quite a while. He's getting on in age. I think if you bring him in, you'd probably bring him in and use him sparingly. I think that also you would not allow him the same creative freedom he's enjoyed in AEW. I think that creatively, he's probably been given a bit too much leeway in AEW. I think some of the stuff he's done has been I'm going to use the word cringe, but I haven't been watching in the past like 15 months or so. So I can't really comment about what he's been doing since 2023. But I know in 2023 there was plenty of stuff he was up to that was just not very compelling. But that is not going to be a barrier. I do think that some fans look at that and think, oh my God, this guy's so cringe, he's so done, he's so washed. But the majority of wrestling fans just have not seen him in AEW. The majority of casual wrestling fans just know Jericho as Jericho. So of course you bring him back. Of course you just like present him like in a credible way, have a bit of fun, use him sparingly, see how he looks. If he comes back and it's just a disaster, then, you know, just kind of keep him on a short deal, put him on a Legends deal, give him a retirement match, put him in the Hall of Fame. But, I mean, just putting him in the Rumble and then having him have a match at WrestleMania, I mean, that makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? So that is one conversation. The other conversation is it going to happen? And I really, really do not think him leaving a light makes it means anything. I don't think it means anything. I think that he wouldn't disrespect Tony Khan that way. I mean, I'm not aware of there being a falling out between him and Tony Khan. So I don't believe that he would look to disrespect AEW or disrespect Tony Khan by actively teasing that he's going to come back to WWE while still being under contract with AEW, right? My belief is that he's done that to generate buzz. I think that he might have called Tony straight after or sent Tony a message as soon as he did it and just said, look, I've just left a like on this thing. I've not done it because I'm looking to leave you. I've done it because I know people are going to talk about it, and it's going to get people talking about Jericho. It's going to get people talking about AEW. It's just going to be free press. It's just going to be free press. Unless someone can tell me otherwise, I don't think he's done it as a disrespect to Tony Khan or to AEW. Because I got to tell you, man, if there was a WWE superstar that had teased that they were going to go back to AEW, WWE fans would not appreciate that. WWE fans would not be keen on that. So, you know, if he's done it, I think he's got to know what the optics look like, but he's had to weigh that up with, is the buzz generated better, like worth it, better than the negatives? Do the pros outweigh the cons? So this is why, for me, him leaving that light means nothing. Doesn't mean anything. Apart from, I just believe he's trying to create a buzz. But would WWE be interested? Yes, I think they would. I think they would. I don't doubt that. The thing I wonder is, will he leave AEW? Would he be willing to go? If his contract comes up, or would Tony let him go? If his contract comes up and he leaves AEW, yes, I think he goes to WWE. I don't mind that. I don't mind. Any bad taste I had about Jericho has long since gone, because I just don't watch AEW. I've not had to watch the learning tree and all this sort of stuff. So, I don't think I'm in the minority on that. I think the minority are those that actually watch AEW. I think they're the minority. I think the majority of people just remember Jericho for Jericho and who he was. So him coming back in the Rumble would be a moment. He'd get a great reaction. Him having a match at WrestleMania would be noteworthy and interesting. How that match would go, I don't know. What you do and how much you can get out of him after that, I don't know. Certainly you could bring back the highlight reel, and you could have the Jericho talk show. So, you know, you could use him in that regards. And he could be like a legend that you put with a younger talent. He could be in a tag team. A bit like AJ and Omos, you could do Jericho and someone as a way of getting that person over. Jericho turns on them eventually. So there's definitely ways that you can use him. I can't give you a reason as to why you wouldn't bring him back, really, to be honest. I don't think there's a reason I could give you as to why I would steer clear of him. I think if you've watched AEW, then I think... if you've watched AEW, then I think you might have a different opinion, because you might have found his work cringe. But I assure you, the majority of people have not been watching AEW. Daze, I got a few with Julia Stephanie. Javon, Ethan, Ricky, Saints, and the Lola Jada match, says James. Yeah, I hear you. I think for me, Javon, Ethan, but I'd be really interested just having a look back to see if there's anything that's like slipped my mind. But Javon, Ethan is the one that comes to my mind. But I'm not saying it's match of the year, but I really enjoyed Nia Lash the other week. I really enjoyed that. I think that's one of the strongest NXT TV matches we've seen. I think you lot scored it like great 80-odd%. I think you guys really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. So, look, this year has been really solid. There's been some really good stuff coming out of NXT. Hopefully, the next week or so is going to add to that. Of course, we've got Heatwave coming up. That's coming up, I believe. Is that Sunday, actually? Is that Saturday or Sunday? We've got Heatwave coming up, and we've also got NXT, obviously, tonight. So, Street Fight, few interesting matches tonight. The Learning Tree has not been the best, said Ben. Yeah, I've not seen it, so I really can't comment. I just know that it's been badly received. I see a lot of people complaining about it, and that's why I think you've got some people that would have a very different opinion of like, no, he's cringe. I don't want him anywhere near WWE. I think you would easily find those people, but those people are people that must have been watching his AEW work, and I have not. Not since 2023. So for me, I'm sort of, I've moved on, and I don't mind if he didn't come back. It wouldn't bother me. I mean, if he never came back to WWE, I think he deserves Hall of Fame. But if he's already wrestled his last match in WWE, fine. I'm all right with it. I'm not desperate for him to return. But if he did return, I wouldn't be like crying about it or anything, I mean, that would also be fine. So, yeah, I'm pretty chilled on the whole thing, honestly. James said, Sunday is Forbidden Door and Heatwave. What a great Sunday, and Premier League footy. What's the next Man U game, James? I have no idea. I just knew we were facing Arsenal first. I have no idea who's next or even when it is. AB said, Daze, I've got a few. Sammy and Kevin, Trick, Javon, Stand and Deliver main event, Roxanne, Lyra, and Creed Brothers Gallus. Are you just talking in general from this year? Like, because Sammy Kevin is like the best main roster match, isn't it? But that one's not. That one's not NXT. Looks like a lot of your other ones are NXT though. So yeah, some good ones. I would love to see that happen. Forbidden Door looks good, said Jim. Where was James? It's Craven Cottage, it's Fulham. Right. I was just looking to see what that was. So it's Fulham, Craven. Oh, really? On Sunday again. Okay. It's going to be 5-0 Fulham, home advantage, said Tom. Irish Rebel said, I'm getting ready for the NXT stream tonight. Yeah, should be good, buds. As we said, looks to be a very interesting show. We've got Javon and Trick, and that should be a really great match. Looking forward to that. We've got a street fight tonight, Briggs Inamura. That should be a lot of fun. There's the women's 6-man, which I'm hoping is just a bit of a fun match, honestly. I've not really got high expectations for it. I just hope it's a fun match. Masha being the special guest ref is probably going to mean there's going to be shenanigans. But we'll see what comes out of it. So, we got that. Ricky Saints in action. That'll be good. He is taking on Jasper Troy. I think we just need to get that feud done. It's not really a feud I'm that engaged with. Jasper Troy, I don't know. He came in really hot, but he's suffered a lot of losses. Suffered a few setbacks, and I don't know really much about him, so I sort of feel like we need to flesh his character out. We need to find out a bit more about who is Jasper Troy. So he'll be in action tonight. I don't know if we'll learn much more about him, but he'll be in action tonight. So, yeah, for a normal weekly show, this looks very strong. But of course, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because we're in Philadelphia. So they've started to do this new thing where they will go to a city and they will do Raw on a Monday. And then in the same arena, they will do, I believe it's the same arena, they will do NXT on the Tuesday. So it's kind of a package that the arena has to accommodate. And it's a way, I think, of trying to... I don't really get the motivation behind it. I mean, I wonder if it is a way of just trying to get fans to go to both. Or if you travel to this city, you've got 2 shows you can go to. I wonder what the motivation is for sort of piggybacking off Raw. I wonder, they've done this before in a couple of other places where we've done Raw and then we'll do NXT. I wonder what I wonder what the logic is. I wonder what the business sense is. Because in my mind, it costs a lot to go to Raw. So why would I... For example, they're doing Raw in Birmingham next week. I mean, I was looking last night to get row... I think it was like row K in block B, which is the block behind the commentators. So you know where the commentators are. To go in row K, it's £600. £600. That's not on you. You're not. That's not hard camera. You're not on camera there, are you? I mean, maybe you could be seen whenever they cut to the commentators, but £600 on the floor for row K. I was like, oh my god, that is so expensive. I mean, I don't know what front row was like. It's got to have been thousands and thousands, hasn't it, for Raw? Thousands. I mean, if row K behind the commentators is 600, I mean, that would say to me that you're hitting 1,000 something for row A. And that's in B. That's in the block behind the commentators. So, I don't know. If you're going to ask me to spend that kind of money on Raw, how can you expect me to then want to go to another show the next night, which is NXT? I don't really get the logic, but that's what we're doing at the moment. I do wish Ava was more aggressive, said Suzanne. The other night we never heard any "We Want Kross" chants. No, we didn't. There was a couple of signs. I don't know where that conversation is, to be honest. I don't know where that conversation is. I don't know. We know that European fans are more vocal. I wouldn't be shocked if actually we see a few more signs and actually get a few chants when we go to Europe. That wouldn't shock me. I do think that those crowds are a little bit more IWC hardcore fans. The reason for that is because if you want to watch these shows, you have to go out your way to watch them. They're not easy to watch. I mean, you could probably find a replay that gets shown maybe, but saying that, not now, because it's all on Netflix, isn't it? I mean, back in the day, it used to be if you wanted to watch it live, you had to stay up at 1 a.m. And then, there might be a replay that gets shown at a certain time the next day. But, if you wanted to watch it live, you had to stay up and go out of your way. It's not the kind of thing you just find flicking through the channels. So I sort of think that it kind of encourages some more hardcore fans to be in the crowd when it comes to the European tour. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Carrion thing has a bit more noise and a bit more momentum as we head over to Europe. But I still don't get the feeling it's going to be anything seismic. I don't get the feeling it's going to be anything like that crazy. I mean, I've been very, very surprised at the lack of chants and the lack of signs, honestly. Very surprised. And I can't really explain it. I mean, the only thing I can say is that on Monday we were in Quebec, and I don't think that was the right crowd. I think Quebec was a French-speaking crowd, and I just don't think that was the right place following his release. He was released on the Sunday, and then we went to a French-speaking part of Canada on Monday. Had that have been Philadelphia. Had that have been Chicago, New York, or, you know, one of the more vocal English-speaking American places, I think there would have been "We Want Kross" chants. But unfortunately, there wasn't in Quebec. And I wonder then if that just sort of stalled the momentum. I wonder if Quebec was just the worst place one of the worst places you could have gone to. And then it's just stalled it. I mean, I did think that the Ariel Helwani interview on Wednesday was going to re-kick it off and relaunch it. But to be honest with you, I haven't even seen a massive kind of thing online now. It used to be that "We Want Kross" and Carrion and all of that was trending. But I can't even say that I've seen it really trending anymore. It does feel like it's sort of petered out a bit. And I don't really know why. I don't know if it's the whole work thing that's causing confusion, or if it was just a vocal minority that has run out of steam, or I just don't know. I think it's a very interesting conversation, but it's not one that I think I can bring much to because it just seems to have settled down. There was a couple of signs. I mean, there was like 2 signs in the crowd. One of them, I think, was quite prominent. It was shown quite often, but it was still only 1 sign. And there was no chance. So that says, with no chance, it says to me the majority of the crowd just did not have it in the forefront of their minds. And that was Philadelphia, wasn't it? I mean, if you go back to the Quebec, because we did a video about the lack of chance. If you go back to that, I was reading comments. Everyone was like, it's because we're in Quebec. As soon as we get to America, they'll make noise. And we've just done SmackDown and Raw, and I mean, pretty much nothing. I know there was a couple of chants on SmackDown, but they were so quiet and faint and short, I didn't even hear them. I had to get a clip from social media, which honestly was pretty pathetic, to be honest. I mean, if you're going to hold that up as a win, if you're going to hold that up as like... I saw some people with that clip going, "Can you hear us now, Triple H?" And it's like, mate, Triple H is not going to be bothered about a handful of people chanting for like 20 seconds. Like, if you want to get Triple H's attention, it needs to be the crowds, and it needs to be interrupting matches, and it needs to feel a little bit out of control. That's what it needed to be. A couple of people and a little section of people chanting for like 20 odd seconds is, with all the best will in the world, pathetic. And I think it just does. I don't even think it makes the movement look very good if you're going to hold that up as some sort of celebration. So, and then we didn't even get that then on yesterday. So I don't know. I mean, I like Carrion. If this is a story, I hate this story. If this is a work, I understand someone has sat down and thought, let's do this. It could be really good. So if it is a work, I hate it. If it is a work, it ain't worked. Because, rather than growing that support, it seems to be dampening it. So if it is a work, I think it's really not gone to plan. If it isn't a work, I think a lot of people have sort of, myself included, looked at it thinking it is a work, and Carrion has maybe not had the support that he should have had. Because so much about it is weird. So much about it doesn't make sense. The fact that he just hasn't really been used on TV much, and then he gets towards the end of his contract, and then he gets like offered a contract. It's like, do you want it? Do you not want it? Take it. You got 24 hours. It's like, what? That's not how you do business. If you want to keep the guy, then you make an offer to keep the guy, and you meet with him, and you sit down, and you act like a professional. Like, what's this? Do you want this kind of a deal? You got 24 hours. And then he's like, oh, can I just ask it? No, you can't. Sign it or don't. And he's like, yeah, but I'd like to know how you got to this number. Well, I'm not bothered. Sign it or don't. You got 24 hours. It's like, what? that's not how I think TKO does business. I mean, like, in my mind, that if they want to save money, they get rid of you. If they like you, they keep you. This kind of, whatever this was, just seems so strange. Plus also, there's been a lot of chanting for Carrion. So why would WWE just willingly let him go and let him go to AEW? It's so weird. It's so strange. Something feels off. And even now, something doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that might have hurt it all as well. So I just don't know where people's heads are at. It might be a really good opinions video, actually, to go, where are you with Carrion right now? Honestly, where are you with Carrion? And maybe that is something that we could do as a separate video. RBB said the R-Truth chants were loud, and that's because he's beloved, because he had worked for the company so long. Yes. I like Kross more than Rusev, said Jesse. People might, like me, might think he will be back, so there's less motivation, says Cactus Chat. Yeah, I think that's true. I agree with you. I think that's true. I think the whole is it a work and the doubt about that has actually really hurt Carrion. I mean, if this is real, that he has been released, even Carrion has said there are companies that don't know whether they should reach out or not. I mean, he said there's a lot of people that think that this is a work. I assure you it isn't. And he said that on Ariel Hawani, and he said that there's companies that are struggling to know whether to reach out or not. So, I mean, God, if this is a work, it hasn't worked. If it isn't a work, what a mess. What a mess. It's just a mess, isn't it? It just really is a mess. So, I don't know. I mean, one day we're going to find out, won't we? One day we'll find out what the hell happened here. It's going to be fascinating. Honestly, it's going to be fascinating. If someone had the idea of, right, he's got this sort of support of people that want him, it's best to kind of hold him back because that just makes them want him more. And someone's gone, you do know that his contract's coming up, don't you? And someone's gone, okay, we could maybe use that. What if, hear me out, we do this, right? He's got a book coming up. So what if we let his contract expire? We'll bring him back a few months down the road, but actually he can go off and do some indie stuff. And, you know, maybe we can get the fans to be chanting, "We want Kross." And, you know what the fans are like when they're not listened to. They don't go away. They just get louder. Like, they demand to be listened to. Like, like a dog that's got a bone, like, they will not give it up. So if we let him go for a little bit, and he goes and does indie dates and does some convention meetings and does his book tour and everything, we might end up with the crowds kind of saying, "We want Kross, we want Kross." We could really, fuel that and then bring him back as a certain point, like as the crowd, you could sort of understand in a creative meeting, you could sort of understand people going, "Yeah, I see what you're saying there." It's a bit of a risk, of course, but it seems like the support is with him. I mean, as soon as SummerSlam ended, the crowd were chanting, "We want Kross" to Triple H. So, I mean, you see things like that and you go, well, he's just had a match. I mean, you're demanding someone that's on the show already. He just had a match. He just wrestled against Sammy, and the fans are out there saying, "We want Kross." So what happens if you take him off the show? How much louder does that get? And you can sort of understand people going, "Yeah, okay, I see your point there. I'm picking up what you're putting down." So I can understand how in a creative meeting that has been pitched, if that is what's happening, right? I can understand that in a creative meeting that being pitched. But in reality, it's happened, and it seems to have actually dampened that support. It doesn't seem like that support has now, grown into a raging fire. It seems to be sort of like going down. The only thing I would say is if Birmingham or Ireland show up if for some reason America dropped the ball, right, and Birmingham or Ireland are there chanting, "We want Kross, we want Kross," and there's signs and there's, do you know what I mean, like life to this movement, that could kick it all off again. So I wouldn't say that this is over. I wouldn't say it's done. I wouldn't say move on, forget about it, or anything like that. I would say that this past week and what we've had on the shows on Raw and SmackDown has been very disappointing. Handful of signs, couple of very, very quiet chants, and I'd say not what we were looking for at all. But I don't know. Did America drop the ball? Is Europe going to come out and actually, you know, make their voices heard? Because we know that Europe doesn't mind doing that. If there's one thing Europe loves, it's chanting and being heard and sing songs and, do you know what I mean, having a party in the stands. Like, that is very much like the European mentality when it comes to kind of going to shows. It's that kind of soccer, football culture, you know? So, I don't know. Is Europe going to deliver what was missing? Is Europe going to kind of restart that movement? They could do. Honestly, they really could do. I really don't think this movement is done. But I'm still none the wiser as to whether it's a work or real or whatever. But if it was me last night, I would have had Brock come out and F5 Roman and then had an awkward stare with Heyman. Imagine the story opportunity, says Aubrey. The Kross movement lasted a few days. If it is a work, I feel like WWE were expecting that movement to be similar to the R-Truth one. Yeah, I the only thing I'd say with that is that I can sort of understand why they would expect that. I know that R-Truth was around a lot longer, but the fans were making their voices heard whenever he was even being interviewed, like during commercial breaks, like on Raw. The fans in the crowd would be chanting, "We want Kross." And so, you know, it's weird. It's really strange. I can't explain what has happened. I can't quite explain it. Whenever he was being interviewed by Byron on Netflix during commercial breaks, the fans would chant, "We want Kross." The fans came out of SummerSlam and chanted, "We want Kross." And there was a lot of comments online, and I know the IWC is a separate thing, but, you know, it had shown itself in the arenas. It had shown itself. I can go back and find examples of the crowd chanting it in arenas. But I don't know, he seemingly has got released, and then the kind of arenas have sort of largely moved on. It is really strange. I can't quite explain it. If they did expect a bigger reaction than this, I really don't blame them, actually, because I would have expected a bigger reaction than this. Where you go from here, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you've got plans to bring him back, you bring him back. But I don't know. If he was let go, I don't know. I don't think there's anything that's happened that is going to make WWE change their mind, you know? I agree. It is very strange. You would think the chants would be louder after he was gone, but it's actually been the opposite, says Brony. Yeah. Trini said, I can explain it, but those same fans were silent during every single one of his matches. During that time, what does that tell you? It tells you fans are fickle, says Trini. Maybe you're right. Perhaps it is fickle fans. Ben said, some people think Carrion is a work. It would have to be a deep work. Yeah. I mean, it would have to be a big commitment, but I mean, we've just seen them do something similar with Seth's injury, you know, where he kind of, you know, we threw away a match on Saturday night's main event and then had him off TV for a period of time, and then of course brought him back at SummerSlam for the cash-in. So I mean, with Kross having a book out and probably needing some time to go and do the book tour, with us having no kind of creative plans for him right now anyway. I mean, he was just feuding with Sammy. rather than start a new program, you know, if you had this sort of planned, do you, I don't know, is this just a kind of a story? Is it a story whereby his contract expires, he goes away for a few months, and then we bring it? Might not even be months. There's a theory out there, you know, that I've seen, that some people think he'll be at Clash in Paris. Some people think that he'll be in Clash in Paris. I've seen a couple of really interesting theories, actually, but I don't know that they're true. And we're not going to know until we get to Paris if they're true. But if they are true, then there is some theories out there that are really flipping wild. But if they're true... Okay, we have got the crowds. Really strange setup here. So we're in a theatre. Oh, we're fighting backstage. Okay, Briggs. Is that smoke? Oh, yeah, that's his entrance gear. I thought he was on fire. But Briggs and Inamura, looks like we're going to be starting with this street fight. Philadelphia street fight. And there we go. The smoke coming out of Briggs's entrance. He's on fire. Dude's on fire. Ah! I tell you, it's really weird, isn't it, having this stage on a stage, this ring on a stage, because it's like a theatre where the majority of fans are like quite a distance away. I mean, we've even got like some steps like there, look. Look how far that crowd is away. Like, it's real. Oh! I tell you what, though, it could provide some really interesting moments as we use this kind of ringside area. Could we not have put some extra rows in of people, though? I'm pretty sure we could. I'm pretty sure we could. Going for a German, no joy, back elbow. And again, looking for a German. Feels like we're setting up for something. Into the edge of the stage. Into the edge of the stage. So we are straight into this. We definitely could have got some extra rows of people in there. We definitely could have done that. But you know what? They don't deserve it. Yeah, I mean, this is a theatre, isn't it? This is not the same venue as Raw, obviously. I didn't know where the venue was tonight. I knew it was Philadelphia. But it's a weird venue. That crowd are so far away. You might not even hear the chants. What are they saying? I wouldn't be shocked if they were all sat there with flipping binoculars, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Few boos for Briggs as he's going under the ring. Muggsy, shout out to you, my friends. Appreciate the support. Daze, I can't believe Josh Briggs is 6'8". That's as tall as Braun Strowman and Talatonga. Yeah, I know he has got a size to him, but I wouldn't have said he was the same size as Talatonga. Interesting. Right, big boot coming in there by Briggs. Right now we've got chair set up. Bang. Why didn't they put the ring on the floor and have them come through the stage as like an entranceway? Like normally what we would do is we would put the ring where the crowd are. We would have people sat on the stage and they would kind of walk through the stage, go down. I wonder why they chose this setup. I mean, it could be fire marshal stuff, but I don't know. We've done these kind of venues before and we've done a different setup to this. Big boot coming in there by Briggs. Right hand there by Briggs going back against the ropes. Gets caught by Inamura. Inamura. Tell you what, this is going to be a really fun match. A few boos for Inamura. Looking for side slam onto a chair. Briggs lands on a chair. Inamura with a forearm shot coming in. Oh, over the other side goes Briggs, hard into a chair. He's trying to scoop up Briggs, looking to plant him down, and he does. Going for the cover, 2. No joy, shoulder up. So pace of this has settled down a little bit. We do have Maybelline in the middle of the ring. Maybe it's Maybelline. Wouldn't it be nice, ladies, if you could get lipsticks where the kind of... they look like wrestlers, and you take the top bit off, and that's like, you know, it looks like a wrestler, but you take the top part off, and then the lipstick's in there. So you could get like a Rhea Ripley or a Liv Morgan, things along those lines. The answer you're looking for is yes, Daze. That would be nice. Yeah, you're welcome. There's a bat for Inamura, but a chair is thrown by Briggs at Inamura. Inamura goes down. Now we've got a bat and we've got a chair. Oh, back he goes. Is there an ad on the bats? Well, there is some on the bat, but I don't know if it's an ad. I think I just sort of thought it was the... It's a Phillies bat. It should be sponsored, though. It should be sponsored. Is there a new Batman film or something that could have sponsored it? Inamura down. I think Daze wants those lipsticks for himself, says Mayor Pete's. Well, if anyone is watching from Maybelline and they would like me to advertise them, I mean, I'm not putting the lipstick on, but I will quite happily like pose with them. Every woman needs this. And these lipsticks. Maybe something like that. Maybe it's Maybelline. Do you know what? We're not sponsored by Maybelline, so screw them. Yeah. Use other people like John's makeup. Guys, whenever I'm using makeup, I always use John's makeup. They're the best. Chop coming in there by Inamura. Right now we've got Briggs over in the middle, looking for a suplex. He's got Briggs up. Do you know what? That's a big boy in it. That's a big boy. 1, 2. He did well to suplex him. James said, Daze in shades of pink lipstick. James, please keep your fantasies out of the chat. Thank you. There are some things that the community just don't need to know about. Right now we've got Briggs. We're putting Inamura, one leg in a trash can. Big boots. Is out the trash can. Briggs going to the outsides. Is looking underneath the ring. We want tables is the chant at the moment. We want tables. Chairs being thrown in. Again, more chairs being thrown in. There's a railing that's under the ring, so they're bringing a railing into the ring. A chair is being set up. Yeah, another chair being set up. The railings, well, he's got 4 chairs. Sometimes it takes them half an hour to set these spots up. We've got 4 chairs. We've got some railings. The railings are balancing on the chairs. Going up, looking for a suit. Oh my God, is he going to superplex him onto that railing? Mate, that'll be sick. That'll be sick. Do it. Do it. He's not even set it up properly. Look, the railing isn't underneath him. Oh, my God. It wasn't even... Oh, I think he caught that chair. You can see that the chair buck... Oh, my God. Show me the replay. Look at the chair. Look, it wasn't... Oh, my God. Why didn't he set it up properly? He kind of like had it at an angle so that when he suplexed, Inamura went through the railing. But look at the damage to the chair. That's because Briggs put himself through that. Oh my God, mate. Look, you can see the mark on the side of his body as well. Oh my God, what a spot. That's one of the craziest spots. Genuinely one of the craziest spots I've seen this year. That was sick. Crowd are chanting for tables. They should be chanting for a hospital. Shot coming in there by Briggs. That's one of the sickest spots of the year, mate. I mean, honestly, I looked at the spot and I was like, he hasn't set that up right. Rather than it being like directly behind him, it was at an angle like that. So he really ran the risk of catching the chair. Inamura's being tied. Seen this happen before and it doesn't normally hold. Forearm shot coming in. So I thought what they're going to do is he's going to tease it for a little bit, right? It'll be one of them where he tries, can't do it, it'll fight on. They'll end up using it for something else. And just as I was thinking that, off they went. Kendo shot. That, honestly, if you need a way into that match, you've just been given it because that's one of the damnedest spots. He's trash talking him right now as he's walloping him with a kendo stick. Brutal. Yeah, you can see the marks. And actually, do you know what? He's wrapped that hand around the rope, but it's holding at the moment. Oh, he's managed to break out of it, though. Inamura is firing his way back. You effed up is the chant. Chop coming in there by Inamura. Inamura unloading on Briggs. Look, he's just absolutely unloading. Briggs in the corner as Inamura charges in. I mean, he's just having to cover up. Briggs goes down. Inamura is all kind of fired up at the moment. Mate, that spot. I can't get over it. Briggs isn't boring me as of right now, said Real Russ. Right now, we've got a trash can being put on the head of Briggs. Yeah, that's a dumb idea, mate. Why is he punching the chopping the trash can? Why is he doing that? Why would you put a trash can over someone and then start chopping it? I mean, that makes so much more sense to get the baseball bat. That makes so much more sense. Oh, there's blood! There's blood! There's blood! He's picking him up, driving him through the trash can, but there's blood all over the face of Briggs. Oh my God, what a fight. Honestly, that chair and I'll never get over that chair and railing spot. I will never get over it. Table is being introduced. I've got it here, actually. Can you see the suplex? And can you see how that is just not correctly set up behind him? You'd expect it to be like behind him like that. Not like that. I'll never recover. I don't think Briggs is ever going to recover. Right now, we got forearm shot coming in. Inamura is going up top. He's got blood on his arm, and that blood has come from Briggs. Briggs jumps up, goes over. Steel chain in his hand. Oh, mate. Here we go. Look at this shot right here. Big splash through the table. 1, 2, kick out. Yes, of course. Of course. It takes more than that to put Briggs away. It takes another table. Yeah. Referee was checking on Briggs. This has been a war, mate. Blood absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Look, another table being set up, just like DJ Khaled. Another one. Another one. And I think he is getting another one as well. Briggs is being really clever. He's actually going under the table, hoping that Inamura won't be able to find him. That's clever. That's a good move. But another table has been introduced. I don't know what spot he's setting up for. Probably another splash, but he's taking a little bit too long here. I'll tell you what, that table's... That table's not in a good place, is it? Right now, Briggs wrapping that chain. Massive, massive clothesline. And right now, he is going to go up top. Briggs is going to look to put this away. I think he connects. Oh, my God, he fell a little bit short. But did he get enough of it? He did. Oh, my God. Briggs is just desperately trying to kill himself. Oh, my God. What a war. What a war. What a war. Dude, just decided that today was the day he was going to end it all. He just decided today was the day that I'm going to wrestle my last wrestling match. Dude should buy a lottery ticket today. Bro, he should buy a lottery ticket. This is Briggs's day today. Jesus, mate. Some of those things you might not find in a textbook. Let's get the poll. Masha. She's up to summer. Really fun match, though, even if Briggs was desperately trying to kill himself. See you in Philly. Oh, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Briggs just barges past Ricky Saints. That's unusual. You don't normally see that happen. You don't normally see that happen. Okay, Ricky. Ricky versus Troy. All that table breaking was great. It felt like I was at a Bills game tailgate, said Chris. Sean said, Daze, hope you're well. Looking forward to the settling of the long-standing beef between Canada and the USA. The peace treaty, finally peace in my lifetime. Well, honestly, mate, it's about time. I know there's been a lot of meetings between like the leaders of those countries trying to find a way forwards. And it's been hard, hasn't it? It's been a long, long road. A lot of people said that peace would never be achieved in our lifetimes, but we're very close tonight. And I think there is reason to be optimistic. I don't know about you, but I don't think anything's going to go wrong here. And I think the peace treaty will be reached. Great opener. NXT is so much better than Raw and SmackDown these days, said Halford. It's not even close, is it? But it is not even close. Ben said, I'm loving this extreme event lineup. Well, 20 minutes in, and I feel like I'm 2 minutes in. I mean, that opening match was just crazy. Some of the spots in that were just crazy. Really enjoyable. And yeah, I mean, we've still got, honestly, I mean, that match, it looked like it was a decent match and it was going to be a good match. But I mean, Javon against Trick is the match I'm most excited for. The Peace Treaty is the segment that I'm really looking forward to as well. So, I mean, this was not even like the thing I was most excited for, but it was just a great opener and we've still got some really great stuff to come. Why is Triple H booking Roman Reigns so badly? Every time it's just Roman at the end of the show beating up people. I want a bit more depth and storyline. Yeah, I understand that. I really do. I understand that. I can't really explain it, to be honest with you. I also wonder why we keep doing the same thing with Roman, where he just comes out at the end to make the save. I mean, I get why you would do it a few times, but it just feels like that's all we ever do. If Roman's on the show, he just comes out for the final few minutes. I think, you know, there is some truth to what I'm about to say, otherwise I wouldn't say it. But I think there is some uncomfortable truth. There is an awkward truth. There is an inconvenient truth. And that is that a lot of people's opinions of shows can be drastically altered by the final things they see. You can have a really boring couple of hours, but if you have a really good final 5 minutes, you can sort of convince people that the show was not bad. It was okay. It could have been better, but actually, you know, the ending was good. And, well, you know, it kind of puts them into a different... I think it could be something really deep in psychology. It could be something whereby you start looking at the show more glass half full because you're in a good spirit, you're in a good mood. You know, if you end on a downer, then you might look back on the show overall as being a downer. And so you might look back on the show as being glass half full. If you end on a high note, then there's a chance you would look back on the show being glass half full rather than glass half empty. And I think that there is an argument for saving Roman for the very end of the show because he's the most popular superstar, bringing him out, having him trash talking Bronson, kind of like, you know, going off on Bronson. And, you know, I only fight for championships. I don't fight for shoes, son. Stuff like this. And like CM Punk was out there. I mean, I think for the hardcore fans, might not work so well. Because, you know, week after week after week, it wears you down when you're watching shows that are just not good enough week after week after week. But for the more casual fans, like, I think there could be some truth to the psychology of, you know, make sure your final 5 minutes are big. I suppose in a way you see it at like pay-per-views as well, don't you? You can have like a really average pay-per-view and then a flipping cash-in at the end and everyone's like, my God, she cashed in, she did it, or he did it. Can you believe it? Blah, 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 blah. And everyone's talking about that. They're not talking about the mid 2 hours they sat through before that. So I wonder if there is something to that from a booking point of view where that's why they don't use him early. They use him at the end so that people are more favourable as to when they talk about the show. Metal Mama said, Daze, I've checked out NXT today. Daze recommended it, so I thought, why not? Well, hopefully so far you've been enjoying it. I think it's been a really good open. And I think we've still got the best bits to come. Here's Trick Williams. You can flip, you can flop. I hear you like to bounce. I'm gonna bounce your ass back to high school. This is a grown man's game. Let's talk about it. So there we go. A little bit of a promo there by Trick. He's going to be in action later tonight against Javon. Winner of that will face Oba for the championship. But here's Jasper Troy. He's coming out. Not been on NXT very long. Winner of LFG Season 1. And actually, I'm surprised they don't say that in his graphic or anywhere, that he won Season 1 of... just as I said that, they've announced it. Winner of Season 1 of LFG. Making his way down, taking on Ricky Saints. Formerly Ricky Starks of AEW fame, of course. Yeah, they announced it just as I said that. So they announced it, but it's not on any of his graphics. Okay, this is going to be a hell of a job here for Ricky to get the job done. Ricky chants from the crowds. I tell you what, this crowd, this venue, it's got a lot more depth than what we're used to seeing, because the crowd are quite far away. So you sort of look in the distance and all you can see are like people going back for a distance. Right now, Jasper picking up Ricky. Ricky is on Jasper. Jasper's going down as Ricky is choking him out. He's got Jasper going down as Jasper's trying to desperately find a way out of this. On Raw and SmackDown, I just want to see new stars being built and great stories being mixed in with some serious fun. Not trios and faves every week doing the same matches, says Leanna is. Sean said everyone in NXT has got an issue with Ricky Saints. Like his Ricky stank. Everyone wants some of that blue chipper from AEW. Well, right now he's on the back of Jasper Troy. He's being driven back into the corner. Ricky Saints, of course, is going to be a big star when he goes to the main roster. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Jasper Troy, I don't know. He's got a good size to him. He won LFG Season 1. I feel like there's quite a bit of work to be done with him, though. Crossbody there by Ricky. 1, 2, and Ricky rolls over to the other sides. Climbing up. There's a forearm shot coming in there. Ricky goes up. Big boot coming in there by Jasper Troy. I wish someone had brought an Ico Pro sign. That would have been so fun. Because I just saw an NXT banner being like held over one of the balconies. You can sort of see it there in the background. I can't read what it says. It says NXT and then it's got a few words next to it. But imagine if other people had brought banners like flags, and I'd have loved to have took an Ico Pro one from like early 90s WWF. That was Vince McMahon's like protein kind of supplement. I never had it. I don't think they ever sold it over here. I heard it wasn't very good. But Ico Pro, you've got to want it. Shot coming into the midsection there by Jasper Troy as Ricky goes in the ring. Vic, hello, said happy to be here. Love to all. Vic, shout out to you, my friends. Jasper Troy's character is a bit one-dimensional, said Luchalala. I know it takes time to build characters, but the booking is a little bit weird. It really does feel like Drew needs to beat Cody, or there could be a risk that the same thing happens to him after the Punk feud and he slips down the card. But Cody has just won the title, so it's tricky, says Brony. Well, I think a way out would be for Drew to sort of start a fight with someone else as he's trying to get to Cody. Because this might not be one and done. I mean, it could be a feud. And so, you know, at some point he might cross paths with the Jey Uso or someone. And, you know, it could be that he ends up interfering in their matches. They could interfere in one of his matches, or they could distract, or, you know, it could be some way of him not winning the title and then smooth transition into the next feuds, so that he's not just sort of, you know, left on the bench. I mean, I think after the Punk feud, because the injuries he had, he went away for a little bit. I think. I'd have to double check that. But I certainly don't think we set up another feud for him as a, you know, a way to go straight into that. So I don't think you take the belt off Cody. But I think what you do is you try and make it real close. Make it look like Drew is right there or thereabouts. And transition it into another feuds immediately. Ricky going into the corner. Sean said, if I was to compare Ricky to anyone, it would be Brutus the Barber Beefcake, because it's well known that Cody, today's version of Hogan, and if done correctly, he could have a job forever, said Sean. I think Ricky's more talented than Brutus. Brutus was never a brilliant in-ring competitor. It's really hard to find any compelling Brutus the Barber Beefcake matches. Plus also, I think that Ricky, you know, I think Hogan got Brutus into wrestling. I'm not sure that Brutus was already in wrestling before Hogan. Whereas Ricky, I think, met Cody. I don't know when he met Cody, but I mean, I was watching Ricky when he was in the NWA, and I don't think he knew Cody then. I think he met Cody when Cody was feuding with Nick Aldis around that time, but Ricky was already in. So I sort of get the comparison, but I think Ricky is better than Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I think he's more talented. I think that he could survive without the Cody connection on his own. I think he was a star that was rising anyway, whereas I'm not sure that, I don't know if Brutus would have made it without Hogan. They were like training buddies, weren't they? And, I mean, it's hard. I mean, they gave him a fun gimmick with the hedge clippers and the cutting of the hair, whatever. So, I mean, but apparently Brutus hated that at first, you know. As soon as they gave him that, he was like, do you know what they're trying to do to me? And Hogan was like, no, it's good. That'll work. And it's different. Right now we got Ricky down. Brutus was a great hand and performer before the paragliding accident, says Sean. Hogan got him a job in WCW, said Kader. Shot coming in there by Ricky, and a shot coming back there by Jasper Troy. Troy coming back up. This thing's been a little bit slow, but I think we have been in commercial break. We're obviously out of that right now. Ricky trying to work on the arm of Jasper Troy. Trying to grab the head as well. Yeah, it's like a bit like a disarmer, standing disarmer in a way. It's like a standing crossface. Duck underneath there by Ricky. Jasper coming in. He's on. Oh, Samoan drop there by Ricky. Vic Joseph said we've overlooked Saint's power in this match. Ricky trying to go over to the corner. Trying to find a way up. He's climbing up at the moment. Ricky is moonsaulting. Lands on his feet. Stuck the landing. Gets picked up by Jasper Troy. Driven back to the corner. And bang. And again, his shoulder being driven into Ricky. Ricky with a big boot. Ah! Jasper Troy going shoulder first into the ring post. There is the young OG just warming up at the moment. Backstage. Okay, we got Jasper Troy on the outside. Ricky jumps to the outside, gets caught there by Troy. And into the ring steps. I feel like this match has been given a little bit too much time. Inamura and Briggs. Right now we got the ring steps. So Ricky is being grabbed there by Jasper Troy. Look at Jasper Troy trying to senton onto those ring steps. Yeah, I mean he's a big guy. Into a DDT on the outside there by Ricky. Yeah, Ricky planting Jasper. This one swinging again in Ricky's favor. Ricky trying to get Jasper back into the ring. Right now, we've got Ricky in there going up over the ropes into another DDT. Gets it. 1, 2, 3, and he gets it. Ricky Saints gets the win over Jasper Troy. Dun, dun. Daze, who do we think has been the best main run, Oba or Trick? I don't think Trix was amazing, to be honest. So I'd probably go Oba, but I don't think Oba's has been that good. I think that what I'm missing from Oba's is a series of really great singles matches. I feel like Oba keeps getting involved in triple threats or fatal four-ways or, you know, things along those lines, multi-person type matches. Like, there's just always a few people around rather than him just going after one person. I think I'd like to have a series of just really good singles PLE matches. So, actually, I might go Oba, having the better run. But I still think Oba's run can be bettered, can be beaten. Okay, here's Hank and Tank. Oh, look, here's that guy, whatever his name is. Ash, Heather. Do not allow Nasha to be guest referee tonight. That was a look of bias. They're calling the lawyers. There was a look of bias on the face of Masha Slamovich. Some people walking in the background, but I couldn't make out who they were. Couldn't make out who they were. Oh, hello. Evolve tomorrow. Evolve. What we doing tomorrow, kids? What we doing? Oh, it's just a pretty generic sort of, it's just a generic sort of promo, really. Right. I can't believe they made Kylie Ray the ID champ, said Alex. Jay's Jasper Troy main events WrestleMania 60, said Ben. Wow. Where would we be at that point? I'll be like 18 years down the road, wouldn't it? I don't even know how old he is. I mean, if he's like 30, then he'd be like 48, so I would say probably not. I'm going to lean towards no. I feel pretty confident with that pick. You'll have to come back to me the day after WrestleMania 60. Although I think we all know I'll be long dead by that point. So, oh, hello. What's this? We've got Ethan arriving.
Can you clear the path, please? Can you clear the path, please? Thank you. Clear the path, please. Can you clear path, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Golden Beaver and Almighty Moose have landed.
Secure the premises.
Philadelphia, let it be known that Ethan Page and I are here for peace and only peace.
And I'd like to make something very clear to the team of Tyra and Tavion. Tyra, as the only Olympic gold medalist and clearly leader of your team, I'd like you to speak to your partner and let him know there will be no violence tonight, okay? I know how you Americans like to handle your business, and we're gonna try something new tonight. A diplomatic discussion in front of your people in your country as your guests. Now please, give us some space.
All right, everyone,
Clear
out the
the path,
way,
please.
clear the space, clear the space. Thank you, thank
Clear the
you.
path, please.
There we go. So the message is very, very clear, isn't it? There's going to be diplomatic discussions tonight, thank you. Yeah, you know what you Americans are like. You love guns. And you're just going to be... But sometimes, you know, sometimes words. Sometimes words are more powerful, yeah. So the Canadians are here tonight to try and bring peace to this situation, which I think we can all agree is very much out of control. So hopefully peace will be restored tonight. So we've got that segment coming up later. It's going to be Ethan and Chelsea trying to bring peace to this out of control situation. Right, we are back to NXT in a minute or so, just at commercial break. I think it might turn violent quite quickly, said Dr. Lucha Lala. Jeremy is bringing peace by showing the American flag and the Canadian flag side by side. You love to see it. Steve said Jasper Troy is big and his work is okay, but I'm not sure that he's got the it factor. Maybe time will help, but everything I've seen of him has been a little bit underwhelming, says Steve. Chris said words over guns make sense. Yes. Yes. Unless you are in the Olympics in shooting, then definitely guns. Taker 1990 said, Daze, did you see Becky's ex-post dissing Naomi getting pregnant whilst being champion? If memory serves me correct, didn't Becky present Asuka the championship in a Money in the Bank briefcase? That was the joke that she was making. James said, reminds me of Mars attacks. We come in peace. Then all hell breaks loose. Jason said, Saints needs to get back into the title hunt. Daze is watching the chat. I don't want him to see me, says, well, shut up, William. You want me to see you all the time. There's no one in the chat that's more needy than you. Right. Let's go. Okay, I don't know what we're advertising. My legacy. My legacy. Days, I turn the big 4-0 tomorrow. That means I will be a true boomer. Can you please give me your walker out of your closet for me to use? Just ask Austin. He'll pass it to you, but I'm pretty sure Austin's in my closet. Here's Jordan Grace. Well, James, many congratulations. I think you get a bus pass, don't you, when you turn 40? Here's Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace has made her way down. She is doing a face-to-face right now with Blake. Are you doing anything special, James? Going the bingo or... It's a little bit weird her not facing the loads of people that are behind her. If I'm in that crowd, I'm like, why don't they start chanting, we're behind you. We're behind you. We're behind you. She must be talking to like 2 rows of people. And behind her, there's like 30 rows. Like, are they back there waving? Jordan! We're back here, Jordan! I don't know what she's saying. I'm so distracted by the fact she's just ignoring the fans. Can't she, like, turn around at times or something? Can't we, like, cut to a different camera where we sort of follow her around a little bit? Look, you can see she wants to. It's a few times she's like, oh, mate, this just feels awkward. This feels awkward. It probably shouldn't, because normally when they do promos at the Performance Centre, they're just facing a pretty blank wall as well. I don't know why. This just feels a bit extra awkward. Yeah, she's talking about, like, vulnerabilities and all of that. I want Blake to see herself for who she is. Yeah, good. I'm glad she interrupted. I was getting bored. I'm going to hold up the mirror so she can see exactly who she is. She don't give a flip, mate. That's enough of that, my muscle muffin. Okay, Mariah May then. Blake Monroe. Making her way out. I'm glad that Blake came out and said Tombstone, Chris. If you lay a finger on me. Why is it? Why is it off? Jordan Grace hasn't signed anything. If you hit me, the match is off. Where's that been signed? You as an Evolution. Where were you? You were standing ringside whilst I was in here. One of the main characters. I think you're jealous of me. Crowd are chanting, Blake is jealous. I gotta tell you, man, I think this is a really kind crowd. I think it's a really kind crowd. You don't have a calm bone in your body. You're a reject playing a superstar. Who's more pathetic than Jordan? Did Tony Storm, like, do a lot of heavy lifting in that feud with Mariah May? Mariah May just... Blake Monroe, I don't know, something about her just seems a bit... undercooked, underexperienced. Like, Heatwave, I'll show you what ugly really looks like. I think that's just an awful segment. I think that was so bad. I thought it was boring. I thought it drifted. I think they're trying to make it into a sort of believe in yourself type situation. I don't think it needs to go there. It feels a bit forced to try and take it in that direction. Okay. Laney, we're backstage with Fatal Influence. Hello, I'm Zarya, Sol Ruka. Zarya steps up to JC. I think I've got the need for speeds. We've got to assume that Blake had way more creative freedom what she was doing with Tony, said Dr. Luchalala. Tony did carry some of that feuds. Steve said, I just think it's the material they've been given. It's just not very good. Shauna must have turned off the grill for that one. I think they're trying to make it into something it does not need to be. I think this is a very simple story of two people that were not friends for very long at all. One turning on the other, and that's it. But because of some of the comments that have been made, they're trying to make this into a kind of thing about looks. And, you know, I understand the pressures on young women, and I understand that there is something to dig into with that as a story. But this just feels forced. It doesn't feel quite right. It doesn't feel like this is the right... We haven't set it up enough for this to be the story that we do that with. So, and because it is so undercooked, because they weren't together very long... Because I don't think the things that have been said have been all that bad. Like, I just sort of feel like it's really hard to get invested in this. Because it just feels like two women that have got an issue. Just have a match. Just have a match. Just have a fight. Just sort it out. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, this is not some great heartache where you've just lost your best friend. Because you were only together for a very short time anyway. And, you know, it's just little bits like I thought Jordan was forgetting her lines because the speed that she was talking at was so laboured that it felt like she was trying to remember as to what it was that she was trying to say. At Evolution, you was on the outsides. I was in the ring because I was a main character. It's like, what do you mean by main character? What are you on about? So, like, some of these things are like, the delivery seemed off, the material seemed off, the whole story seems undercooked. I think you're right. I think all of that could be resulting in, you know, the Mariah May, Blake Monroe just not having much to get her teeth into. But the delivery of some of this is just not great. Again, my opinion, some people might have loved it. But yeah, I did not think it was that good at all. The Jordan Blake back and forth was all right, said Big Time. Having her back to the crowd was awkward. Yeah, that was, yeah, you're right. I mean, I was not even into the back and forth. I can't even go that far. I just thought it was an awful segment. But having her back to the crowds, I thought that was a mistake straight out the gate. But as we said, weird, because at the Performance Center, she has her back to the crowd, and what she's looking at is basically a wall, like a couple of rows and a wall and a camera. So, I mean, you could argue it's no different than at the PC, but it feels more awkward, doesn't it? feels more awkward because there's a sizable amount of people that are at this show, and then we're pretty much all behind her. Yeah. Yeah, I've enjoyed tonight's show. I mean, I thought the first match was the highlight. Second match, okay. That last segment, not for me. But on we go, on we move, and let's see what we've got coming up. Bum, bum, bum. I don't even really understand where the Zarya, Sol Ruka, Fatal Influence stuff is leading. Okay, we are backstage with Javon. Let's get the scores for that second match, the Ricky match. Trick is selfish and goofy. To be a champ, I gotta think like a champ. I'm trying to be NXT champ. Okay, here's the Elegance brands. This will be interesting. This is obviously TNA talents. Dana Brooke, of course. So Heather and Ash by Elegance. The Elegance brand are here. Elegance. Elegance. Yes. Yes. Okay, they're making their way down. Right. The segment needed a big help of not boringness, but instead we all overdose, said AB. Days from day one, they are trained to talk to the hard cam only and nothing else, said Dog Pounds. Yes, but why does the hard cam have to stay there when we've got other cameras that we could have moved around? I mean, I appreciate that they are trained to talk to the hard cam. They're trained to wrestle and show the moves to the hard cam as well. Everything's kind of hard cam because hard cam are the people at home. But why did the hard cam have to be positioned there so it looks so awkward? Why could we not have cut to another cam where we've seen people cutting promos to those cameras as well? You know, there's plenty of times where a cameraman will jump on the edge of the ring and the talent will come over and they'll talk to that camera. I sort of feel like there was an opportunity for her to talk to the hard cam, but then quite quickly turned to the side as she spoke to another camera. I mean, I can sort of understand why they wouldn't want to show the hard cam side, because you don't really do that in wrestling. But I think we could have at least turned around a little and had her like talking and, you know, maybe even speak to the crowds, and we would have got her side profile. I just don't believe there's nothing you could have done to have took that awkwardness away. I don't agree with that at all. I think there are things you could have done. There's Masha in the ring. If they drop another title to NXT, said Real Russ, maybe it's all part of a storyline for WWE to take over TNA, said Real Russ. Okay, match number 3, Elegance brand. Elegance brand against Fatal Influence. Kicks coming in there by Fallon. I love Jasmine's gear, said Wrestle Rants. Lot of talent in that ring, said Jam Quick. Ganlin said, what do we think about WWE working with AAA competing in WWE? I think it's only kind of a few. I mean, Mr. Iguana, Vikingo. I don't think there's... And they're not up on the main roster. They're just kind of... I think Mr. Iguana was trending. And I think, there's been a bit of like a meme sort of viral thing behind him. So, I don't know. I don't expect it to be on like a regular basis. And I don't expect it to be all of their stars. I think you've got to be really special in the ring. Or you've got to have some sort of like meme ability to kind of be on Raw or SmackDown. But other than that, I mean, no problem using that talent at the NXT level. I mean, the belief is that that talent, if it gets good in Mexico, will find its way going to NXT in Orlando. Slam down. Jasmine looking quite good as she was in there. Masha, of course, special guest referee. Tag being made. Here's Ash in there with Jasmine. Roll through, going for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out there by Dana. She picks up Jasmine. No, Jasmine goes back. She's going to make a tag. In comes JC. JC stepping in there with Ash by Elegance. There's a JC chant that just broke out there. Roll up there by Ash, but JC kicks out. JC going back against the ropes, looking for a hip toss. No joy. Cover. Reverse 2. No joy. Right now, again, we got Ash going over into the corner. JC colliding him. Going over against the ropes. Clothesline. Down goes Dana. 2. No joy. I don't care for JC, but surprisingly, she's been doing solid work, getting heat and promo work, and been getting some decent reactions, said Wrestle Rants. Dr. Luchalala said, will Jasmine take the pin to keep that storyline of her getting kicked out continuing? I think that's a good shout. I could see that. Oh, that dude, whatever his name is, grabbing Fallon's leg. You're out of there, Masha. The personal concierge. There we go. So the concierge is making his way to the back after being removed. You're out of there. The personal concierge kick from ringside, said Wrestling Fam. Right, we've got this match continuing as Ash goes out the ring, grabs a hold of Fallon. 1, 2, 2 count. Shots coming in by... So Corey Graves said, what do we think about Masha, who's a TNA wrestler, being the official? Is she not going to be tempted to give the advantage to the TNA team? Well, seemingly not, because she just kicked their personal concierge away. Kick coming into the midsection there by this tall ginger one. 1, 2... Kick out. We're already an hour in. It's gone by quick, hasn't it? It's gone by quick. I don't think anything has matched that first match, unfortunately. I think we started really hot and it's kind of been diminishing returns. But we've still got some big stuff coming up. Right now we've got a stretch being applied. The newest member of the Elegance brand. Forearm shot coming in. Roll up. 1. No joy. Still at commercial break. Clothesline. Down goes Fallon. Over in the corner. Is that M by Elegance, is it? Heather is in there now. Heather by Elegance. Daze, like I said, Blake's heel turn on Jordan was too quick. This quick heel turn for Blake is heading to epic fail rating, said Taker 1990. Well, I do agree that it was... I mean, I agree with you that we have not cooked this feud long enough for what they're trying to do. I think it may have worked if we had gone a different direction. I think if you had kept the story as simple as I thought we were supposed to be friends, and you go down the road of like, in this business you can't trust anyone, honey. If Blake Monroe had said something like that, and we kept it pretty simple, like you're an idiot for trusting me, and we didn't really go much deeper than that, then I think that would have been okay. But I think trying to make this out that it's like something deeper than that, and that these comments are like really hurtful to Jordan, and we're trying to like put this extra layer on, for me, like, why would Jordan care what someone that she doesn't really know in real life has said about her? I mean, it's got me thinking about social media where, you might have a bad comment from someone and it might play on your mind. But, like, I don't know if that works the same in real life. I don't know. Does it work the same in real life? Someone you don't really know saying that, I don't know, no one's ever called me anything nasty in real life. I'm trying to think outside of school. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to think at work if anyone ever like said anything nasty to me, like a personal attack. I don't think I've ever. I really can't think of any times where that's happened to me. Moonsault. I've not led an interesting enough life for anyone to kind of do that or say stuff like that. So to me, I just don't really understand why Jordan's bothered by what Blake Monroe has said, when they just weren't even together that long. But I don't know, perhaps there is something to it. Clothesline. There's still time, said James. Oh, James, make no mistake about it. People have said plenty of stuff since I started the channel. But again, it's all online, it's all virtual. It's not in real life. Do you know what I mean? It's keyboard warriors stuff. It's people that are, safely behind a screen, miles and miles and miles away. Like, it's very different if you had someone saying it to your face. Senton. 1, 2, 3. I was pulling for her to win in February. Would have been amazing to have seen her win in Australia, said Alex. Jeff said, can we insult you now so you get an understanding? It wouldn't work, would it? Be online. I'm talking about in person. Jasmine, Fallon. Joe said, calling you a boomer over NYC as an insult him. Well, first of all, I didn't take it as an insult. But also, again, it's different to being insulted to your face. So I don't know. It feels off to me. It feels off. It doesn't feel engaging or right. It feels like there's something off with it. Undercooked is the word that I keep coming back to. Tag being made. We are back from commercial break. James said, not many people have got balls to talk shiz to people in real life. Ain't that the truth? Right now, we've got Jasmine down in the middle of the ring. Double knees again there by Ash. Oh, save made. Save made by JC. Another big boot there by JC. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. So, big kicks coming in. Getting thrown to the outsides. And again, we got Fallon being pulled to the outside into... Oh, mate, she's going straight after her right now. But, oh! Swanton on Jasmine. Jasmine would be getting pinned right now. Masher 1, 2. Ah, Jasmine survives. She would have been put away there. Masha was being distracted. Ash by Elegance is not happy. Jasmine is desperately trying to crawl over. Tags made. Ah, big shot. Big shot. And there we go. It is a win for Fatal Influence. I mean, to be honest, they should be getting past. They should be getting past the Elegance brand. Okay, so she snatches the belt off Masha. Ash by Elegance with a lovely swanton bomb. Shut up. Shut up. Corey Graves is like, this is exactly why we should have had a proper official in the ring. Because the proper official would never get distracted, would they? Jesus Christ. Masha did a better job than a normal official. Oh, there's a lot of pushing and shoving in the ring. Seems like the TNA talent are having a little squabble. Okay, we're backstage with, hello, Kendall. They seem to really like Kendall, don't they? She's talking to Charlie right now. If a true pro is trying to offer you advice. Okay, Kendall's going because here's the Cullen. Okay, so Tatum is here with Izzy. Okay, peace treaty coming up. This should be good. This should be good. King Yeti, shout out to you, said Daze, you're a poopy head. I deserve that. I did deserve that, in all fairness. King Yeti has turned. King Yeti, such a babyface in this community, has just turned heel in a horrific betrayal. Stop. It's definitely a dark time for the community. It's going to be fun, he said. I think this will be good, yes. The peace treaty. Been looking forward to this. Look at Daze, he's fuming inside, said King Yeti. I'm just trying to process it, King Yeti. You've been so supportive on this channel, and then a betrayal like that is just... It's blindsided me, that's what it's done. I opened my big mouth, didn't I? I opened my big mouth, and now all of a sudden I'm just getting non-stop insults. Even from those that I love. Jesse said, what do we think of Michelle McCall and Undertaker on LFG? I do think she's got some favoritism because of him. Because why did they replace Mickie James? Well, I don't watch LFG. I do wonder as to what happened there. I think from what I heard, Undertaker wanted Michelle on the show. I don't know that he had any issue with Mickie James and he wanted Mickie James off. But I heard that he did want Michelle on. And, yeah, I think there is some favoritism. I think that she has been included on that show because of him. But I haven't heard anything that he had an issue with Mickie James or anything like that. So, don't know. We'll have to kind of see if any rumours or any word kind of emerges as to what went down. I haven't heard off Mickie James about how she feels about it or anything. She's probably very, very sad. Much like me after what King Yeti said. Daze, it's just mind over matter. You don't mind because they don't matter. That's it, James. That's it. that is it. Yeah, I mean, look, there's no way that you can do this, like be posting opinions and sharing opinions and having conversations like this year after year after year without there being some pushback at times. But that pushback never bothers me because it's online pushback. I mean, Jesus. I mean, it doesn't bother me anyway, but as soon as you turn the computer off, I mean, you're back in the real world anyway. So, I mean, it's never, that's never been anything that's bothered me. In regards to real life, though, where you've got someone actually saying stuff, genuinely, I really cannot remember since school where, you have bullies at school. I can't remember a situation where I've been in a situation like what Jordynne Grace has been in there, where, she's got someone that's kind of insulting her to her face about her appearance and everything. I mean, I think this happens all the time in wrestling where there's heels and people that sneak attack it. I sort of feel like in wrestling, you have to expect that this is going to happen. So that's why for me it feels undercooked, even in person. I think my brain would be like, oh, she was just pretending to be my friend. She's not really my friend. I'm gonna mess her up. Like, we're in wrestling, I'm gonna mess her up. And so whatever she has to say, I'm not interested. You've shown your true colours. I'm not interested. It wouldn't affect me. It wouldn't hurt me like it seems to be hurting Jordynne Grace. I suppose in a way, though, it's the more we've spoke about it, the more it's become interesting, because now I'm starting to think, well, actually, that's how I think I would react. But have I ever actually been in that situation? And the answer is no. So, maybe I wouldn't react that way. Perhaps I would be a glum goose. Yeah. If someone was like, oh, I think you're fat. And I'd be like, I'm not fat. You're fat. The segment seemed a bit forced, but with no real emotion or sense of direction. If you pretend to be my friend and cost me a world championship, let's have a fight, said Sean. That's how I feel. If you are going to betray me like that, then, well, that's it. You've shown your true colours. I don't care what you've got to say. Your opinion means nothing to me. I certainly wouldn't dwell on what you then said, like Jordan has. But anyway, we're moving on because it's peace treaty time. This is going to be so good. All ego. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green are coming out. Peace treaty time. There's the Hervis. Hervis are just checking that everything is okay. There's Chelsea. They're actually coming out to Ethan's music. So Corey is wearing red and white. Okay, we got a table in the ring. We are well aware of how you Philadelphia freaks like to get down. Get down on it. Oh, they're getting rid of the table. That's actually quite clever. Bye, table. What's this?
You see that woman just assault me? And what does this say, huh? What does this contract say? It says if she so much as lays one finger on me, the match is off. And she very much laid a finger on me because one thing about JG, she can't control her little temper. Oh my God, I could hear you move down the hall. Yes, I match is off. Yes,
I can't hear it.
Oh, hold on. It's okay. The match is on. You're a WWE superstar. You're gonna be okay. I'll see you on Sunday, Pookie.
Is it just me, or can you just not hear it? I mean, I heard her say the match is on, so... Did they just think, oh, audio is so overrated? Perhaps it's me. Perhaps I've just got my sound too quiet or whatever, but I could not make that out. Anyway, Tyra May Steele, Tavian are in the ring. USA chants. Chelsea's looking horrified. We're going to share our opinions. We're going to squash our beef. You're doing a great job, Tavion. Okay, so Ethan's actually saying, Tavian, you're doing a great job. Okay, so Ethan calls himself the greatest North American to ever hold the North American Championship. You're getting a bit of... Look at Tyra May Steele. Look at Tyra May Steele. As soon as Ethan said you're getting a big head, she was like, are you going to take that? Yes. Look, Tyra's doing what? She's not even talking and she's doing work. I mean, she's so good. She's so good. There's no second or third. Okay, so Ethan. I like Tavian. I'm quite excited. I don't even know what Tyra's doing in the background now. She's like... I don't even know what that is. Tavian's like, I'm the bad draw in the bracket. And Tyra's like... Yes, mate. I want what's on my plate and what's on yours. Chelsea chance. There's no need to be disrespectful. Oh, you're being rude, but you are American, and Americans are rude. Yeah. Ethan. We have the superior nation and the superior athletes. Here's Tyra. We're here in America, but better yet, Philadelphia. Mate, she's just naturally got it, isn't she? I mean, she's hardly been on NXT, and look at how comfortable she is. So-called Olympic gold medalist. Yes. Preach. She is so captivating. I love Tyra May Steele. I'm all in. I'm buying all the stock. This crowd love Chelsea, even though they're trying to do this as a USA-Canada kind of showdown. These American fans love Chelsea. Yes. The peace treaty is not going well. Hervis on the outside, a bit frustrated. Now you want to be friendly neighbors again. Not in Philly. It's getting fired up. Okay, here we go. Ethan standing up. Tavian standing up. You just want to go straight to violence, don't you? Okay, is this Ava? Yeah, Ava making her way out. Yeah, it's true. Heatwave. Mixed tag. Let's go. Let's go. Mate, that is going to be so good. Tyra May Steele is incredible. I'm such a fan of her work. To be honest, I'm a fan of all four of them. Chelsea and Ethan, you know, fantastic. But you know what you're getting with them. Tyra May Steele, we've not really seen much of her in NXT. We haven't seen loads of Tavian either, but he is legit. And right now we got a couple of ankle locks applied. They're tapping. We got the Hervis trying to help out. The Hervis not really helping Ethan. Ethan was in that a little bit longer than I think he wanted to be. But, yeah, that's going to be a really fun match this weekend. The peace treaty. Not that peaceful. Miles Bourne is backstage with Ricky. The segment was decent, but it could have been a bit better. I agree. I don't think they had any material to work with. I mean, what lines did they actually have to deliver? There seemingly just wasn't really much there. I mean, it was just Ethan kind of bragging about being champion and then trying to use that as a way of create an argument. Okay, Lexis is apologizing. I appreciate you. Yeah. He's not blind. Oh my God, he maced him! He just maced him! Dude, do you know, on house shows recently, they've been doing blindfold matches where they've actually been putting, like, these black sacks, these bags over their heads, very much like Jake the Snake against Rick the Model Martel. But they've been wearing those and doing, I'm sure we're going that way. I'm sure we're going that way. So Lexis King was just apologizing, saying, God, it's so hard being deaf and blind. Miles was like, I'm not blind. And then he just absolutely maced him. Yeah, if that leads to like a blindfolds match, that could be really different and actually really interesting. Oh, so much going down. We've still got our main event to come tonight. Daze, is it true that WWE's new name is WrestlePalooza? Don't know, Han. They've not announced it yet, but it is the word on the street. The streets are saying that that is going to be the new name. Right, that was good, said Sean. That made me laugh. Even if you hate this drawn-on beard, I did pop for that well. You are now line, said Rhino. Yeah, he maced him. He got maced. Right, Daze, Mickie James is creative director, head of female talent, and an executive producer in OVW, the old developmental brands. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was connected with OVW. Hopefully, then, she had a word saying that, you know, she was struggling to do lots of different things and that she maybe wanted some more time for OVW. I mean, it would be nice to... it would be nice to think that Undertaker didn't just get her replaced. I think that's a real shame. I really have not heard any issue that he had with Mickie James. The only thing I heard was that he just wanted Michelle McCool to actually get, you know, a spot on the show. But as we know, women are like second-class citizens. And so we can only have really one on the show. There's room for Booker and Undertaker and Bubba Ray Dudley and Shawn, obviously. But we can't have more than one woman. I mean, that would just be crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, crazy. So if we are bringing Michelle in, we have to lose the other woman. That's just the way it works. And so that was it. Mickie was out, wasn't she? So I don't know, one day maybe we could have like two women, but we're just not there yet. We're just not there yet. The struggle continues. Dr. Nuchalala said, how do you not have a talker like Chelsea doing more frequent segments like that on SmackDown? Really dropping the ball there, said Dr. Nuchalala. Vic said Chelsea and Ethan should have their own talk show segment. WrestleRant said that sketched on beer made me mad every single time I see Pillman Jr. He cannot think that's good. Daze, I've got a question. Is there an update on Zoe Stark? No. Last time I saw an update from Zoe Stark, she was saying, I don't have an update. She had no update. Right, we have got backstage segment with Lola and Kalani. Women in wrestling, said Beans. I know, but... Okay, so we had Lola talking to Kalani. Here's Lash. I watched you at Triple Mania and you lost. Toe to toe, more like ass to ribs. Tread lightly. Okay, now we've got Ava. Ah, here's Dark State. Ava doesn't seem bothered. I was very impressed last week. I like Saquon. You guys did this to yourselves. Joe Hendry bursts out of cupboards. They should just mess him up, to be honest. There's 4 of them right now. He's in a really bad situation. Oh, Cutler! Jesus Christ! You don't want us behind you. Right. Booker T, Vic Joseph, Corey Graves. You don't want us behind you. I mean, it's true. To be honest, he's just burst out of that cupboard. They've all just looked at him and walked away. I don't think it matters if they're behind you, in front of you, to the side of you. Dark State are the least intimidating. Even Ava was standing there when Dark State were there, and she was like, just not bothered. This group carry no threat whatsoever. Right, they're just running down the card. Number 1 contenders, triple threat. Lola, Kalani, Jada this weekend. That sounded so wrong, said the Jim. The Jim J. Knockouts, triple threat as well. Masha, Ash, and JC. As well as that, we got the mixed tag match. Tyra May Steele making her way onto a PLE. Blake Monroe against Jordan Grace. Hawk said Cutler is being used to do like DX style promos or lines. It's probably a really good use of him, honestly. It's a really good use of him. Oh, who goes to Heatwave? We find out now. Your boy is bouncy. Here he is. Main event. We're going to have 20 odd minutes. Let's go. Austin said Cutler's got the same personality as me. I wouldn't be shocked to find out that you was Cutler. That would not shock me, you know, at all. I could believe that. Oh, it's not Dark State. No, I've got Dark State on the brain. Javon versus Trick Williams. That thing that Javon does cracks me up every time. I'm shocked that it doesn't get memed more. Daze, Mickey James tweeted a video of her sat down watching WWE Vault discussing her favourite matches. Oh, that'll be good. Wrestle said they're really leaning into the Cutler awkward moments. Yes. I mean, like, I think it's good, honestly, because Cutler has, from the very beginning, felt like the odd one out. And I think we said it really early with his kind of those early promos, like, this guy don't fit. And if we're thinking that and it's feeling that way to us, it's got to have felt that way to WWE as well. So I think it's good that they are sort of addressing it. Now, where that's going to lead to, I don't know. Where that's going to lead to, I'm really not sure. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're at commercial break, but I think it's good that they're acknowledging it. the rights to ARW Pro. Well, that's what we're waiting for, buds. That's what we're waiting for. So sick of waiting. Dun, 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 dun. Cutler loves ass more than Diddy, said James. A little bit of lag. No, it looks okay. I'll tell you what we do need to do, though. That's end this match thing, because that poll's been up for a little while. We've only got about 19 minutes left to go. Uh, 46, 40, 10, and 1. I feel like there's so much that goes down on NXT. A lot of it can be really quick and just like really backstage, couple of little chats. Like, it's kind of hard to just keep on top of everything. I don't really understand what Joe Hendry has brought. Like, I don't know what that's going to lead to. Does it lead to nothing? Is it just a fun moment? It could be. It could be nothing more than just a little fun moment, but equally, I wouldn't be shocked if it led to Joe Hendry against Cutler in like a singles match. Elegance brands. Okay, you lots said that was good 99. Okay, I'm sure this is going to cook. I'm sure this is going to bang. Javon against Trick. I've been asking that question for a few months now, said Brother Man. What has Joe brought to the table? Well, I mean, he was obviously TNA champion. So, I mean, he brought that and he feuded with Trick. So I understand that. Then, of course, he wants to get his belt back. So I understand that. And I think they're just using him as comedy and as fun, and you know, I get that. But I just wonder where this is. Was this just a bit of fun, or is this going to lead to a match, or I don't know. I don't think they've announced what we're getting next week yet, have they? If there's a graphic that says Joe Hendry against Cutler, I won't be shocked. Okay. Here's Trick. Da, 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 da. Javi said, when you're streaming, what does your dog do? Well, just sleep, to be honest. I mean, when I stream, I start at 11 o'clock at night. And by the time I finish, it's like 3 in the morning. So, I mean, it's middle of the night, really. So she's just asleep. Normally when I finish, I'll go up and she'll be either sleeping or she'll be like awake. Normally I'll give her like a little biscuit bone thing, and sometimes she'll just eat it in the living room and then go back to sleep. Or she will go over to the door and want to go outside. And if she does that, I just let her outside and then she goes to sleep outside. She loves being outside. She loves it. But sometimes I go up and she's not bothered about going out. I think she gets quite comfortable. She's like settled. So she doesn't need to get up to go outside. She's just, I'm all right here, kind of a thing. So sometimes she goes out, sometimes she doesn't. But whilst I'm streaming, she's just asleep. Okay, Trick and Javon, we're going to get underway with this match. Do you think WWE would let me create a PLE without any restrictions, says William? Yes. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't allow that. Right, we are underway. Winner is going to go on to face Oba. This match obviously has got a lot of meaning. 1, 2. Trick. Big boot from Trick straight out of the gates. Being slammed down. Right now we've got Javon on his feet. Trick grabbing Javon, looking to pick him up, slam him down, but Javon reverses it. Kick coming in there by... Oh, that's amazing by Javon. I mean, you can't stop watching whatever he does. He just jumped off, and I didn't know what he was going for, but he did a brilliant job there of turning that in. Oh, there's a bit of blood. There's a bit of colour. Couple of kicks coming in there by both guys. Oh, Trick showing off a few moves, but Javon catches Trick. Trick goes back against the ropes. Javon going over on that top rope. Nice, look at that. Takes him over. Trick coming back up. Beautiful drop kick there by Javon. 1, 2, shoulder up there by Trick. Great job, great work. I went to Indiana Expo Center to see the Sheriff Slamboree. It featured matches from OVW, Illinois, don't even know what that is, Illinois. It looks like Illinois, but it's not. Pro Wrestling and ARW Pro. Carmen, shout out to you, buds. Shot coming in there by Trick Williams. Got about 13 minutes to go. How is Kia these days? She's all right. She's getting old. She's slowing down and, you know, rather than like a spring in a step, there's more of a trudge these days. So she's 12, though. I mean, that's, you know, it's about the age that dogs go to doggy heaven. So she's fine. As far as I know, there's no issues, but mentally, I'm already getting prepared for her to die. And I do need to mentally prepare for that because it will be very sad. Chops coming in there by Javon, firing in these chops. Know that feeling, said James. Yeah, it's true. When you get over the age of 21, there's a lot of trudging that goes on. Javon in the middle of the ring. Trick against the ropes. Kick coming in there by Javon. Down goes Javon by Trick. Dr. Luchalala's like, oh. How have I not seen your dog? I love dogs, says Metal Mama. Well, I mean, I'm downstairs, aren't I? She's upstairs. She's too fat to get down these stairs, so she's never on these streams. But I did stream upstairs. I can't remember the show. I did stream upstairs and she popped on the channel. I think there's a video of her running down the garden for the Greatest Royal Rumble. Honestly, when the Greatest Royal Rumble happened, I put all the names of the people that were in it at the end of the garden, and I put a bit of chicken on each one, and she then went running down the garden. So there is a video on the channel of Kia. But it's Kia from, like, God, when was Greatest Royal Rumble? 2018? It's Kia from 7 years ago. She was 5 then. She was 5. I was 14. Long time ago. Right now, we've got Trick in the middle of the ring. WrestleRant said, Daze, we don't fat shame here. You should apologize. Oh, yeah, WrestleRant, she must be new to the channel. We do fat shame. We actively encourage it. Any kind of cyberbullying is really supported on this platform, so you'll learn, WrestleRants. You'll pick it up, buds. You'll pick it up. Right now, we've got Trick in control. Shot coming into the midsection there by Javon. Again, another shot to the midsection. Javon goes over to the corner. Oba is up in the balcony. Shot coming in there by Javon. Goes up springboard. Oh, mate, the heights. Evans coming over. Clothesline. Trick goes to the outside. Going back over against the ropes. Young OG. Oh, mate. Oh, my God. I think he knocked that box There was some sort of box, little wooden box that was rock there. He must have knocked into it. There's lots of little bits around the ringside area, actually, on that side. If you're doing that kind of stuff, do it the other side. Oh, he's caught him. Oh, my God! Young OG! Just got pushed off the top of the... Look at Booker! Look at Booker! Young OG goes through the... He overshot it as well. He overshot it. Dude! The young OG. Mate, we've lost Sam. We've lost everything. I think we've gone to commercial break because there's a doctor just really checking on him right now. Like, are you all right? Are you all right? Oh, mate, this is so much better than Raw and SmackDown. It's not even close. It's not even close. Triple H, if you're watching, you suck. You suck. You're nowhere near as good as this, you boomer. There's Trick looking out to the crowds. And you're fat. Trick's got a few words for Oba Femi. As Javon is down. Brutal. HBK is cook. Even Oba was like shocked, rocked. Right now, we've got Trick. He's going over. I mean, look, we've still got Javon down. I don't know if there's not a serious problem here. Because Javon is still down, and it's a bit of a concern, to be honest with you. Referee's getting back in. He's counting, so hopefully we're okay. But we're counting right now. Javon, I think, starting to move. There was some real concern there, mainly by me. There's a puddle of something coming out of the mouth. Jeez, I hope it's blood. I don't know what else it could be. Right now, we're at 8. Young OG trying to find his way. Oh, he just gets in before the 10. Do it again, Trick! Do it again! Yeah! Throw him into the crowd this time. In the crowd! In the crowds! In the crowds! Oh, yeah, his jaw was all wired shut, wasn't it? I forgot about that. He might have a broken back. He might have a broken face. He might have a broken heart. We've all got one of those. Right now, Javon down, trying to find a way of getting back up to his feet. I say we get Shawn Michaels and George R.R. Martin right in the main roster, says Liam. Could you imagine if we did get like a guest writer for a month, how wild those shows would be? Let's bring in, what's her face? J.K. Rowling. God only knows what we would get there. We'd have wizards. Right now we got guillotine on Javon. In Vince's voice, it's his guts, says King Yeti. I would have done Vince's voice there, King Yeti, but you were so nasty to me earlier. Still cuts deep. Oh my God, he overcut that. He overshot that flipping table. Look at this camera angle. Ah, mate, that's so good. Oh. Look at Booker. Look at Booker. It's so good. What a spot. Oh, you get a date with Oba as well, apparently. I didn't realise. I just thought it was a match. But you get a date with Oba. Right now, Javon over in the corner. That camera shot said Noctivux. That boy is bouncy. Yeah, in a really bad way. He is bouncy in a really awful way for him. Big kick coming in there by Javon. Right now, we've got Trick in the middle of the ring. Trick coming over, grabbing Javon and hurling. Javon goes down. And right now, pointing over at Oba. Oba is in the arena. We got Trick coming over, throwing in some shots there to Javon. Right now, again, is picking up Javon. Over against the ropes. Oh, I mean, surely Javon can't come back from this. Surely. I mean, the kid is just surviving. Just surviving. Just hanging on. I mean, I feel like he's pretty close to death. Think about your future. Think about your family. Shot coming in there by Javon. And again, another shot coming into the midsection. I said, fight me, said Trick. Shot coming in again there by Javon. Oh, mate! Mate! Oh, backhanded him! Back at the disrespect in that look seems to have woke Javon up. Javon is coming back from the disrespect. Oh, mate. So good. That backhand is so good. Shot coming in there by Javon. I sort of wish that backhand had put Javon down and then Trick had won. Because, like, Javon would have to find a way back from that. Like, not only did he lose, but he lost to a backhand. That is such a good finishing move for a finisher, for a heel. Standing him up. I mean, when they're, like, you know, out on their feet anyway, just need something to put them away. So disrespectful. Trick is down. I'm not sure about Javon coming back from that table spot, honestly. Javon is up. Javon! Big splash! That won't do it. 1, 2. I don't even need to look. I don't even need to look. That ain't doing it. He's Javon in up. Oh my God, Corey Graves is really excited. 1, 2. Kick out. That didn't feel like it either. The Pele kick was good, said Beast Modes. But how does he get headbutted to the ground and then get up, said Culture of Peace? Oh, nice defense by Trick. He was going for that big springboard cutter. He picks him up. Oh, big shot by Trick. Huge. This has got to put him away. It's got to put him away. Trick shot coming. Trick shot. No. Super kick there by Javon. Javon gets the ropes. Gets caught. He's trying. He's fighting. He's working. No. Reversed. 1, 2. Both guys back and forth. Going over against the ropes. Just pin him. Just pin him. That's got to have done it. That's got to have done it. He just took his head off his shoulders. Oh, surely, 2. No, mate. No. I'm just not even buying it anymore. You trick shotted him and booted him in the head and chucked him through a table and... Mike Santana. Cutter. Oh, I think we've overbooked this. Javon's going to get the win. 2, 3. So... Trick Williams looked over. Oba Femi wasn't there. Mike Santana was there instead. It was a momentary distraction, but we had murdered Javon. I watched Javon get murdered, and then I'm meant to believe that he wins that match. Nah, mate. Jump in the shark for me. Jump in the shark for me. There's 2. That's... I can't just completely... You know what I mean? Just suspend everything. That guy got murdered. I saw him get murdered. It's like kicks to the face don't mean anything anymore. To be honest, the crowd didn't appear to be losing their mind when that match came to the end. It wasn't like, place going crazy or anything. I feel like the rhythm of the match was a little bit off because of the fact that they were just like doing a bit too much, really. I think that even him surviving that table spot was a bit of a stretch of the imagination, but I could go with it. I found a way of still getting into it, but I don't know, man. That boot seemed to be it. And then he planted him. And then Trick just looks over to the corner, sees that Oba's been... and that's enough for Javon to just come back and get the win. What? Not for me. Not for me. I don't mind Javon winning. Right, let's get a poll for that main event match. Still, though, by a mile, that was better than Raw. And it probably will be better than SmackDown as well. By a mile. Days, this morning there was a bloke on with a Star Wars collection and it was worth 150,000 on This Morning. Oh, really? They've been doing some collection bits on This Morning recently. I saw some wrestling figures on there the other day. Where did Oba go? I don't even know where Oba went. Like, did he just wander off? Did he think to himself, oh, I'm not going to bother watching the end of this match? Where did he go? Where did Oba go? I just don't know. Brother Man said, I think Javon becomes champ so that Oba can move to the main roster. James said, where's Tony D? I don't know. We never got an answer on that, did we? Never got an answer on that. C-Dub cut off right at the 3 count, said Jeremy. Oh, Netflix went a touch, a whisker longer than that, but not loads. Sanan said, the crowd should be good on Friday. I'm going to be in that. Days, go on This Morning and show them your autographs. Nah, they'd like that. They'd like that. They can jog on. Pebble Mill for life, mate. Pebble Mill for life. Right, 7.5. I didn't care for the Chelsea Ethan segment or the Grace Blake segment, but a good opener and closer, says AB. Days, the match was a bit rushed at the end. Apparently CW cut away to news before the finish in some markets. Mismanaged timing. Oh, really? That's interesting. I mean, they certainly had enough time. So, yeah. I don't know. My problem... Well, actually, my problem was that it did keep going. I think there's a few moments in that match where that match could have and probably should have ended. But it just kept on going. And, perhaps, like, it did have a little bit of a few issues in there. Well, look, for a TV match, it definitely had moments. It was not bad, but I just find it frustrating because I think there was a really, really great match there, and I just find some parts of it very irritating. But yeah, perhaps there is timing issues. That's interesting that not all markets got to see the conclusion. Are people talking about that on... Are people talking about that on... Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I just show you? I have just searched CW. All I've done is I've searched CW, right? That's all I've done, because I just want to see if people are talking about the CW, right? And then I flip in... Go to latest. I mean, I don't even know if that is... Do you know what I mean? Like, I went over to latest and there was something there. Now, I don't even know. I'm not showing it again. I'm not showing it again. I don't even know if that is male or female. right? But I just clicked over onto latest to see C-Dub, and there was something that showed WTF said to, I know. Good Lord, what was that? I don't know. Because I clicked on it and went back, and I'm not doing it again. But I'm trying to just see if people are talking about the CW network cutting off, and instead there was like some, and like the way they had their hands on their belly was like, oh yeah, like that, like yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know if it was a man or a woman. I don't know. But I still need to have a look, so I'm going to have to do it off camera, I'm afraid. So, okay. So it says, I'm not making this up. Stuffed my belly with Dominoes. I'm extra fat tonight. Hashtag Tummy Tuesday is what it actually says. That's honestly what it says. It says, I stuffed my belly with Dominoes. I'm extra fat tonight. Hashtag Tummy Tuesday. And that's why the hand's there. It felt to me like it was like, oh yeah. And now we know why. Oh my God. I still don't know if it's a man or a woman though. I still don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's not even what I was looking for, to be honest. I wasn't looking for that. CW was telling WWE to hurry up and end the show as soon as the match was over. You got to deal with CW. The fact that your broadcast got cut as soon as the bell rang is low-key kind of wild. It's time for NXT to come to Netflix. It's already on Netflix, mate. For some of us. Mate, what an advert for Domino's. I could go for Domino's right now. No one told me it was hashtag Tummy Tuesday. No one told me. Jesus Christ. Well, there we go. Tubby Tuesday. What the hell? Said Jersey's fine. Listen, I didn't post the picture, did I? You can't go blaming me, mate. I didn't post the flipping picture. But some people said their TV feed cut off before the 1, 2, 3. Imagine not knowing. 1, 2, 2. Imagine not knowing. Very good. TNA have just tweeted message sent. Perhaps it was them. Perhaps they cut the feed. Let's go. Right, guys, look, we've laughed, we've cried. I mean, there's been more crying, to be honest, but not as much crying as on Raw. And, of course, we found out it's Tubby Tuesday or Tummy Tuesday or whatever it's called, so... Great 72 actually means that Inamura Briggs ends up as the highest rated match, but Jabon Trick was very, very close. Very, very close, but... Mate, a few tweaks to that match, and I think we could be getting into, like, really high-end great. Maybe even snuggling up to all-time. There was some really good stuff in there. But there we go. Right, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for joining. Appreciate the support. We're back again tomorrow for Evolve. But, of course, we'll also be back on Friday for SmackDown. And we'll be back this weekend for Heatwave as well. So plenty on the way. So thanks a lot for joining. And see you again next time.